Well, we're here, kids. It's 2019. Quick breakdown for you. Society is still titty sensitive and cries over everything. If you're an American citizen, Trump is still your president. And the Loken Jabroni Show is still here for you. But this week, you only get 2/3 of the three-headed monster. Other than Jabroni, who's the other third? You're going to have to find out in just a few minutes. Sit back, plug in, man up, listen to some music. Let's have some fun. 2019 off to a bang on the Loken Jabroni Show. Well, are we having technical difficulties? Are people standing by? What's the story here, bro?
Fucking iCloud again.
Again?
Fucking.
I don't get it. I do not get it. But hey, you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. It wouldn't be the Loken Jabroni Show without some sort of colossal fuck up that keeps us from doing what we do. Welcome again to the Loken Jabroni Show. My name is Chris Burns. I am the Jabroni. Conspicuous by his absence, a lot going on with this man. He's usually Michael Loki Smith. He is still Michael Loki Smith. He's just not with us tonight. We wish him all the best. The man in the box, the man with the hour, the tower power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey.
Eddie Focus.
I'm going to make it new every week. I want to make sure that you get the best intro possible going forward because we got a lot of stuff to talk about going forward. Hopefully everybody had a great holiday, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus. Last night was New Year's Eve. Sure a lot of you went out and had a good time. We did not. We watched Aquaman, which I'm almost embarrassed to say, Ed, that movie made me think a little highly of Aquaman. I never did, man. As a Super Friends fan growing up, he was always the sidekick. He was the helper. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they solved the crimes. Aquaman was there for support, if you will. He was their support animal in the Super Friends. But now, the writing, the visuals, Jason Momoa, everything that was involved in that film really made me like Aquaman a little bit. And I'm stressing it because you're going to go, you said you liked Aquaman. No, ass face, a little bit. So
he liked it.
Mark it. I thought the movie was good.
He liked it.
One of the brighter, better written DC Universe movies in the last few years. Wonder Woman being right up there with. Yeah. But, man, if you have not seen Aquaman, please go out and see it. Go to LokenJabroni.com, hit that Fandango link, and get your tickets through us. Let us know that you care. We're going to talk a lot about the affiliates tonight. We're talking a lot about Loken Jabroni Show future plans, Speedway Review, the new music show coming up, the Libertarian Focus, Basement Quest, which you have a large hand in all of these pots. But first, what's on your mind, man?
Well, speaking of comics, I finally saw Infinity War.
About time. I still haven't seen it.
It's on Netflix.
I know.
That's the only reason I saw it.
But I watched Mr. Church instead last night. If you haven't seen Mr. Church, please go out of your way to watch Mr. Church.
I look at it. I keep looking at it. Eventually, I'll watch it. But I watched Infinity War, and I liked it, obviously. So I'm looking forward to Endgame and the other ones. But I'm probably gonna see Aquaman this weekend. The DCEU definitely needed another hit after the disaster. I mean, I like Justice League. We've had this discussion, but
it's a lot like
obviously, yes, it is a weaker film.
It's probably good that Mike's not here tonight because I like The Dark Knight Rises. Didn't think it was a great movie. I liked it. It was good.
That's not really a DCEU.
No, but,
movie, though,
he will argue against The Dark Knight Rises. He will tell you it's right next to Ishtar and Best Defense on the Rotten Tomatoes gimmick.
Yeah,
but it was a good film.
I liked it.
Yeah, Justice League, like you said, wasn't that bad. I really did enjoy it.
It suffers from a weak villain, but I think all of them do.
I would have been better if they had a more oomph villain. I mean, even in Aquaman, you have Black Manta from the comics, and you have, I don't want to spoil too much, there is another villainous person in that film that makes it complete.
I've heard.
Okay, so
I definitely, I'm going to see it this weekend. I'm glad it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So Also on the Jason Momoa front, he's quoted as stating, so Loki, if you're out there listening, he's quoted as stating, "Bro, Henry Cavill is still Superman.
Okay.
People need to chill out."
Momoa says that it may be true. You never know.
He doesn't know about Affleck, but he knows that
Right.
he knows that Cavill is still Superman.
And going to that point, Jason Momoa, Angela made a great comment last night where we were watching the movie.
Ooh, yeah, break me off a piece of that.
Something along those lines, but not the same vernacular. And I was just like, "Are you objectifying that man?" She goes, "You know what? There aren't too many Hollywood actors that I will go out of my way and drool over. That's my one." I was like, "So that's your male version."
That's your get out of jail free card.
of my Eva Longoria. And she, yup. So understood.
Yeah, we all have one.
1000%.
Yeah.
And if Eva, if you're listening, what's up, babe?
I've heard this is what just the reviews I've seen. I've heard Amber Heard is fantastic as Mira.
Yes,
she adds a lot to the movie, and she's a very refreshing character.
I think her surface outfit is a little too Poison Ivy. You'll understand when you see the film, or if you've seen stills. Clips, okay. Yeah. Her Atlantean outfit, fantastic. Right down to the jellyfish, almost, what do you call that thing? The peacock thing that women have on their dress that stick up way high. None of us know. If you know, let us know.
It's a BFC.
Plumage, big fucking collar.
Big fucking collar.
Yeah, all right. Buying it 1000%.
The evening gown in the BFC.
Right. But yeah, definitely if you get a chance, check out that film.
Yeah, I'll definitely see that this weekend.
So we watched that. We watched the ball drop. Gave her a kiss. She gave me a kiss. We sat down. We took selfies with the cats. Yes, I've gotten to that point. Instead of going out, and I never really got hammered on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve was always that's her fun.
Yeah.
I always got hammered on my birthday, which I didn't do this year either, crazy enough. But we took selfies with the cats and sent them to...
We drank and played board games at home.
Okay. Well, we were like relatively kidless. Emma went back home to her mother in Vermont. Maddie was at her father's. Billy and his girlfriend went out, did their thing, and like typical, they're the youngest old people you'll ever meet in your life. I could tell story upon story, but they were back at 10:30. They go off into their room and they do their thing and whatever that may be. We just watched movies all night. It was fun. It was just relaxing. There was no pressure. We tuned in long enough to see Christina Aguilera in her stupid dress, and then the ball. And
I watched the Fuller House New Year's countdown.
There was a Fuller House New Year's countdown.
There was like 10 countdowns on Netflix. I decided the Fuller House.
No
one.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little about that.
Well, they're just minute-long clips of them just doing their usual stuff, and then they count down to midnight. So if you have kids you want to put to bed early, you play it at 8.
Okay. Happy New Year! Get in bed.
Yeah. Netflix does them every year. They take 10 or so of their original shows and they have them do countdowns.
They can tell time you're fucked.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's why it won't work for my Anna. That might work for Anna.
Anna played her first game of Sorry.
No shit. How'd she do?
She won.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, she won. Then Amy came in second. I came in third.
Well, you can't win them all, kid.
Yeah.
Although, it's a great segue into the end of football season, was just 2 days ago. And, of the three-headed monster, only one of us is moving on. So, tip of the hat to Producer Ready Focus and his New England Patriots. Question I had for Mike, which I'll ask you, because I was thinking about this. This is every year since Tom Brady has taken over as starting quarterback of that team, they've made the playoffs. They have 5 Super Bowl rings, 8 Super Bowl appearances, 16, if I'm not mistaken, AFC East championships. If you're a Patriots fan, you're pretty much here. You're at the curve of the roller coaster. Is it next year, the year after? When does that roller coaster start to dip and you start going 55 miles an hour down into the ditch?
I think it all depends on how much Brady can take.
Well, Brady says he'll play at least another year. That was in the news for the past week. Belichick, the genius, let's be honest, he's the greatest coach easily of all time.
I mean, okay, so the good team depends on a number of factors. You need a good quarterback. No one will ever argue that. You need good leadership.
Yes.
Okay, but you also need good support.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady's had all of that. Like he's had the perfect 3 for how long?
Oh yeah.
And the times where he's lost most of his support, like he lost Gronk, he lost Edelman, I think.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah. So they kind of do dip down a little, you'll notice.
Yeah.
You need that perfect 3 to have that kind of team.
One of the things
And
that
you got to pay the referees off. Let's be honest.
and deflate the footballs. One of the things the Patriots and Bill Belichick especially does better than anybody else is the Patriots are like the island of misfit toys. Yes, you have superstar Tom Brady. Yes, you have the genius great coach Bill Belichick. Sometimes you get a high dollar player come in, or they have a homegrown player like Gronkowski, like Edelman. But they make the most out of this with guys like Chris Hogan. Who the fuck is Chris Hogan? He's just some run-of-the-mill guy. Maybe he didn't work out for another team. He comes to New England. He thrives because it's that system. It's built to succeed. But you have to have all the parts. And I think if Brady goes or if Belichick goes, that's when that roller coaster is going to dip over. And Patriot fan, I hate to say it, you're going to go through what Cowboy fan has gone through.
Let's keep it totally honest. It was hit or miss with Bledsoe.
Yes.
He was good.
He was good,
but he didn't have the perfect three.
No, he had a lot of great tools, but they couldn't. There was just the chemistry, if you will.
With obviously, full disclosure, folks, I'm not a great sports analyst, but
I seen it.
Yeah, there's only so much one player can carry for so long, and you saw that with, say, the Chicago Bulls.
Oh yeah,
when Jordan left.
And even if Scotty Coattails tried his hardest, he couldn't do it. That's what I say. Fuck Pippen.
So that's one of the reasons I hate
Chicago
basketball.
fan gonna hate us right
that's
now.
That's one of the reasons I hate basketball is they kind of put everything on one player and always have.
Oh, and that kills me when you watch the ads for basketball and Christmas time. Christmas Day is like the NBA's day. There's 7 games, all national, NBC, ABC, what have you. When you watch a baseball commercial or a hockey commercial, it's always Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, this guy, and the New York Yankees roll into Boston to face Mookie Betts, Benintendi, this guy, and the Boston Red Sox. In basketball, it's always one guy and it's like Casey and the Sunshine Band, Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. I know he's retired now. It's LeBron James in Los Angeles. It's always this guy and.
Yes.
And that sucks. And the one team that broke that mold, 2 teams that broke that mold were the Miami Heat. Of course, that had LeBron James too. And the Celtics years ago with what they called the Big Three. You need a team. The Celtics of the 80s, you can point to Larry Bird all day long. But if you watch that team, you knew the 5 big players.
Moving on just from football and basketball real quick.
Sure.
Staying on sports, though. Have you seen the footage of Mayweather with the Japanese
Briefly.
Oh, my God. Mayweather wrecked him with
Did he destroy him?
One hit.
I'd have to watch that.
You need to watch this video. I swear to God. And keep in mind, I'm not huge. I don't like Mayweather. I think he's a prick. Okay, but he's in an exhibition boxing match with a champion. He must want to destroy MMA guys one after another. I swear to God.
After the McGregor thing, and McGregor took him farther than I think
McGregor could
Mayweather
won, but I think Mayweather lacked the experience.
Yeah.
But it just shows you know how we're talking about getting out of your lane and certain this is a perfect example. So I'm watching the last moments of this fight, and Mayweather, damn near a perfect fighter, let's be honest.
Oh yeah,
damn near a perfect fighter. And he's fighting a Japanese MMA star, and he gets in just this one hit that fucking rocks the guy. And when you watch him fall, and the ref can't communicate with him, it's a total knockout. But you look at him, and it's like Mayweather knocked his fucking soul clean out of his body.
Oh, one of those hits.
He's got tears coming down his. Well, no, like he hit him emotionally. Like this defeat really got to this guy.
I've seen plenty of fights over the years like that,
and it's just unbelievable. And I don't know. The rumor is that like Mayweather wants to give it a shot at MMA or anything. I don't know.
You know,
I don't know if it'll work.
Floyd Mayweather may well be one of the greatest boxers of our time.
He is.
But
let's keep it real. He is.
There's always an argument for this guy, that guy, whatever. I don't follow boxing as staunch as I used to back in the day, where I could tell you who was the bantamweight champ of the IBF.
I can tell you right now what Mayweather is doing is genius, because I think he's trying to get boxing back in the limelight by taking on these MMA guys, because he beats them one after another. And he's basically saying these guys ain't shit. They get out of their lane, they ain't shit.
But what if he gets in their lane, and that's what I'm going at. You know,
right.
he can beat Conor McGregor all day long in the boxing ring, 12 rounds with the 18-ounce gloves and what have you. Get him in the octagon with 6-ounce gloves, no shoes. You're allowed to go to the ground. You're allowed to kick. You're allowed to do all of this. He's going to be so out of his element. and he's going to find himself in a real, I call it an actionable position. Someone's going to tie him up, break his leg, break his kneecap, what have you. There's just a lot of things that could go wrong for him.
Oh, absolutely.
And he doesn't see it. He just sees, I beat all these guys.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you beat him at your game. You know,
but on the flip side, think of the MMA guys that are going in there thinking, "Oh, he just punches. I can do that." So it's like the same thing. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I was really, when I watched it, I was really awestruck. Like, I watched it twice.
Okay, I'll have to.
You got to watch the blow he lays on him. It was almost like the guy had never been hit in his life.
That good, huh?
Yeah, and like I said, I ain't Mayweather's best friend. Fuck Mayweather.
You're right.
Because he's a prick. Wife beating motherfucker or whatever it is. Girlfriend beating motherfucker. But
not a big fan of those wife beaters, are you?
No.
Nobody should be. Let's be honest.
I'm the only guinea that doesn't like wife beaters.
The Loki and Jabroni Show does not condone the racism of Eddie Focus.
No, it's all right. I'm Italian. I can say that. I can use that word.
We're gonna go that route.
I can use that word. You can't.
All right. Well, I've shared the episode out again. Want as many people as you can. I realize there's a lot of college football going on. I don't have my score in front of me. Ohio State's playing as we speak. But why don't you show the folks what you got?
Real quick on the gaming front, I was hoping to show this to Loki. Unfortunately, not going to be here today. I got this beautiful set of gaming dice for Christmas.
They are good looking.
Like, they had them on Amazon for like $40. Yeah, take a look. Look at the beautiful weighted dice. Beautiful weighted dice. So any of you suckers want to get in the gaming table,
you can tell them where to get it too.
Yeah, Amazon.com. Go through the Loki and Jabroni page.
Absolutely.
And there's a link if you're watching on YouTube. There's a link in the description right now. So you click that link and you shop on Amazon
after the show.
And
stay for the fun.
Well, you could listen and shop.
Yeah, you could.
You can listen and shop.
Speaking of listening and not watching my game, it's not much of a game. It's Ohio State 28, Washington 3. It's in the third. I don't even care. It's the Rose Bowl game. Usually an important game, but not so much. This is important to me right now.
And really quick on the Jets.
How did we go from Ohio State to the Jets? It's like
I just wanted to bring up
ice cream and horse manure.
The brutal beating that the Jets got by the hands of the New England Patriots.
You know, the funny thing was going into that game, the Jets had been hot for the last few weeks, and I thought maybe they'll put a little something behind, give themselves a little oomph. No, they laid down and took it.
I just watched the score.
Oh, it was just brutal. And you know how we are. We're at the Azarju Mini Mansion. I got the Falcons game here. We got the Patriots game right next to it because Angela was at my right. And it's just, my game was close. My game was a fucking nail.
All the games are on Amazon Prime, by the way. You can watch them live.
Yeah. And how can they get Amazon Prime?
Just go to Amazon link on Loki and Jabroni. Sign up for Prime.
Guys, this is the year that I really wanted to push us forward. Is you got to visit the affiliate link.
Yes, we earn a commission every time you shop. Full disclosure, but it doesn't cost you anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, going into the music.
Yes.
Right now, 3 months of Amazon Prime Music.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how much?
$9.99.
Lower.
$5.99.
Lower.
$1.99.
We're going lower, Chris.
Oh my God! How much lower can I get?
99 cents.
Nice
for 3 months of Amazon Prime Music.
It's a great
$9.99 after that. If you have an Alexa device, you'll be able to hear any song. You just say, Alexa, play me Kiss. Such and such. Kiss. And it'll play Kiss.
Nice.
Yeah. Or if you want to listen to some real music, you can say, play me
Motorhead.
Kanye West.
Oh fuck! See, this is where it goes south.
It wouldn't be Loki and Jabroni without
That's true. But on the music, why don't we just start talking about the future plans? Obviously, this show, I don't know what episode we're on now, but we are inching forward to 2 milestones. We got episode 200, and the 4-year anniversary coming up. I'm working on guests for both.
Mm-hmm.
Being at the holiday season, I get a lot of check me in January.
Gotcha.
So, still got irons in the fire there. The Basement Quest, if you want to talk a little bit about that.
Still working on the website and stuff. We have been, I've been streaming games on my own Twitch channel and on the YouTube channel. So if you want to watch me play some games, I've been playing a lot of State of Decay 2 lately.
Now, when you do that, simply on the outside, are you talking about the game as you're playing it, or are you just sitting
mostly
there
reacting?
Or are you just zombie-like playing the game like this?
Mostly reacting, saying "fuck." Where's my team? Where's my team? But
okay.
but subscribe. There'll be more great content. Mike has been talking a lot about Warhammer gaming, strategy gaming, that kind of stuff. So that's in the pipeline. More C&J Speedway review, folks.
New sponsors, please tell the folks.
Yeah, we got a great Anchor FM has a great little sponsor program. They match you up with sponsors on there. So when you download the audio version on iTunes or whatever, there'll be some sponsored ads that I personally had to record.
Nice.
So you'll hear my beautiful voice with some background music.
Finally, you get to be a part of the show other than happy birthday and fuck Jimmy Johnson.
Fuck Jimmy Johnson.
That's what I said.
But I wish they'd take him down off the wall.
Who?
Lowe's.
You're quitting anyway.
I know, but still bothers me that he's still there.
All right.
It's just laziness.
I got you.
But so yeah, so there'll be ads for AnchorFM.com and a company that I'm actually going to look into for some merch for C&J Speedway. Called Spreadshop.com.
Okay.
So there'll be a sponsor on the show.
Shirts and hats type thing, or
shirts, hats, whatever.
Gosh, I need a hat. Either Loki
similar.
and Jabroni.
I mean, we use Cafe Press for the Loki and Jabroni merchandise. So yeah, pretty excited on that. And we got the music thing we're gonna work on. You wanted a little radio show.
Yep. Going back to my days as an over-the-air jock, I'm looking forward to it. I got ideas and plans, and it'll definitely tie into maybe like a Patreon deal where, I'd like it to be request-driven at times. So you want something, you want to hear it, you want to hear it on the show, you want to hear your name, you want to, hey, this is for my girl, I love her so much. Boom. Go to the Patreon, you make your donation, you go to the head of the line. If we get a lot of them, we have to start picking and choosing. We'll get the bucket of gimmicks. We'll put all the donations, their requests into the thing. Boom. And artist spotlights. Very important. I already talked to Nathan Hunt from Shaman's Harvest. If I know the guy, I'm going to run it by him. I sent a message to Charlie Benante. I got a little thumbs up. So, an Anthrax episode is in the works.
We're working on tightening up the content a little bit, so we're not all over the place because people's time's important. And, we know we can get all over the place.
Oh yeah, and the beautiful thing about that is, more often than not, it'll just be me.
One thing I want to hammer home too that going into 2019 is to really open up the online content to the folks at home. So. Like, I don't know if you know this, but on the Loki and Jabroni website, you can sign up and you can post your own little blogs and things. And honestly, unless you're trying to just start some hatred, we don't care what you really talk about.
Right.
If you're questioning the machine, as it were,
right.
We love that. But if you were just gonna be like, "Oh, I fucking hate these people over here," get out of here with that shit.
No, we're not in the business of doing that.
Get out of here with that shit. We're not interested. But the when Basement Quest is open, if you play games, if you love games, you want to host games, the forum's going to be open for everybody. It's going to have a forum. You can write your own articles and submit them. We'll put them up there. If you're experienced in a game system, we'd love to hear from you. It's going to be more. I'm looking to take things in a more community based direction. With almost every show. If you think like C&J Speedway Review is really a news show, so, on the racing, it's gonna be that until we get its own home. But Loki and Jabroni open up to the community. It's already there. If you folks go to www.lokiandjabroni.com, you can start talking now. Posting things.
Click on the blog, sign in.
If you got a great article about the culture, because I've always considered this show culture based. So
I'll agree.
If you got something about the culture that you want to question, or I like this, if there's something you just straight up disagree with, we'd love to hear that.
Right.
As long as you don't open it up with, you guys are a bunch of needle dicks, fuck your mama. We'll love to hear from you.
We'll ask you to please leave.
Actually, I wouldn't mind if you said that.
Okay.
But
whatever
you know
works.
What? Just back it up. Back it up with evidence.
Understood.
I think you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so much going on, but this is a business too, and whenever possible, stop at the sites, shop some of the great affiliates. It does help us out. Patreon's great, but I would really prefer if you folks got some product. You know,
Yeah.
get some product, something great, and give for gifts, or
Everybody has birthdays. Y'all have anniversaries. Valentine's Day fast approaching. You can go to any one of these affiliates and
Yeah.
get great things. The Monthly Club, if you're a girl or guy or both, you never know.
That's the thing too. We haven't really been able to do it, but for like example, the Monthly Club, we're gonna try to get some of that product in here so you can see it, and then you subscribe yourself.
Yeah,
But there are certain items like is good stuff. iHome, great stuff.
yeah.
There's what do we got? There's Trivago.
Yes.
Everybody travels. Trivago is an affiliate.
You see their commercials
Yeah.
every freaking TV show you
Yeah.
watch. If you're gonna go to Trivago,
Basically anything you already do, just go through us first. Just go to the website, click the link. That's all you gotta do. You're done.
and it's always appreciated.
You're done.
I mean, I look at, and you have the info. I don't want to ask. I don't want to get too hot under the collar, but we just passed Christmas.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people who did a lot of Amazon shopping. I don't know that our needle moved too much in the month of December. See, so 2019. Maybe we'll make a side video
Let me
later.
put it this way: I earned a commission on my Christmas present. That was the only one
Fuck.
because I shared the link.
Well, guys, we're gonna just have to get you on the horse just a little more every single week. Go
Yeah.
to the affiliates.
And here's the thing: with Amazon especially, there's great programs that can take some of the stress. Like if you're tired of constantly picking up paper towels, crap like that, you can subscribe to them
Exactly.
and have them sent to you cheaper. Pet food. Actually, there's a pet supply company is one of our affiliates. If you want to check them out,
Nice.
We no longer have an affiliate with King Cooler,
Oh
but nobody ever bought one of those.
no,
They were expensive. I know it was.
they were a little steep in the priceage.
But if your kids, they play games. We have as an affiliate, we have Turtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They make great stuff. I actually just bought a Turtle Beach headset for Anna, so she can
Saw that she was out there.
talk to people on Minecraft. And I actually it's funny. I actually am talking to some of my old raver friends who have children of their own, and they're like, I'm trying to get a group together because there's a lot of sketchy people on these chat things, and we don't want her talking to just anybody. But I'm talking to children like from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, if you want to get together, we're looking for safe people for her to chat with and play Minecraft and build things and have some fun. See, we care about the children.
Of course we do.
Wu-Tang is about the children.
Care about everybody. There's just a lot of great stuff going on, and your help is certainly appreciated. I know this is going to sound like a Jerry Lewis fucking telethon here.
But we don't have shame.
No. The music thing, I do have someone I want to bring in on the night that we record. We're going to record it early in the week, drop in the music. It'll come out on the weekend. Think of it as like a weekend playlist, an hour and a half of some talk about music and hearing actual music. Former guest on the Loki and Jabroni show, Jim Lallemere, is a huge Motley Crue guy. Motley Crue's movie is coming out on Netflix in March, so why not tie in? Yes, it's only been 10 years in the making. I'm sort of looking forward to it, questioning some of the casting, but
this is a biopic.
Yes.
Oh, it's not a documentary.
No, it's an actual film from their 2001 career retrospective book, The Dirt, which was easily the best rock and roll book ever written. Now it's going to be a movie. So I'm looking forward to watching that, but why not have Jim come down and talk about some of his favorite Motley Crue tracks? You get to hear them. You're not just going to hear Shout at the Devil or Home Sweet Home. Jim is like blood when it comes to Motley Crue. Much like if I ever dip my toe into the Kiss pool with this show, you're not going to hear Detroit Rock City or Heaven's on Fire. You're going to hear the best of the best that you may have never heard because the radio only plays Strutter, Detroit Rock City, Shout It Out Loud, Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, you can usually tell the difference between a fan and a radio listener. When someone says, "Oh, I love Motley Crue," and they list off the hits.
Yeah,
like,
my favorite's Home Sweet Home. Okay.
Okay, you like them when they're on the radio. That's fine.
Yep.
Don't call yourself a fan.
But when you go to the show and they're playing Bitter Pill and you're like, I've never heard this song before.
So here's a perfect example. So I like Huey Lewis and the News.
Fantastic choice.
Okay. One of my favorite songs by Huey Lewis and the News isn't one of their hits.
Okay.
It's that song "Walking on a Thin Line."
Yes.
It's a great song from the
awesome
Sports
tune.
album.
Yes.
Not a big hit.
No.
I mean, the hits are great. Obviously, Huey Lewis can knock it out of the park.
But the stuff that didn't quite make the top 40, like Walking on a Thin Line, Jacob's Ladder, A Couple Days Off, fantastic. But everybody goes to, I Want a New Drug, or, you know.
Journey, favorite song, one of my favorite songs by them, "Still They Ride," not a big hit.
Mm-hmm.
There was a song that from their Time Cubed album where Jonathan Cain is on the vocals instead of Steve Perry sings backup vocals. I can't remember the name of it, but great fucking song.
What about "Remember Me" with the replacement singer Steve Augeri,
Mhm.
which was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I still want to hear the album they did with the what's his name, Arnel Pineda, who's fantastic live. Seen him, fantastic. But I
Yeah.
still want to hear the record he made with them. Just never got around to it. Journey was never on my priority list.
I gotta say, Steve Perry's new solo album, quality,
Is it really?
fucking quality.
I've been trying. I didn't want to avoid it, but
You don't have to.
there's just something about the last time he put out a solo record that I remember. And you got
It's still good.
Oh Sherry.
No, he did a solo album before that. I thought, or after that.
After that,
Bad Medicine.
you might be right.
Something Bad Medicine.
You might be right.
Come on, Oh Sherry's a good song.
Come on. If you ever saw the movie Basketball, you'll understand why I laugh every time I hear that song. That should have been Steve Perry.
No, dude, seriously, it's great.
I'll
it's
check it out.
Quality music. Steve Perry, he's back. Let me put that. He's back.
Good.
It's probably not. There's not going to be a lot of charts because I think at this point, you know how it is. At this point, he's not. It's not like going to sell ad space.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put that album in, you listen to it, and you're just like, this is quality music. This is good music.
You say chart, and it pisses me off because I remember being why I wanted to do the musical podcast type thing.
Mhm.
When I was an over-the-air jock, on any given day, you could have, and guys, I'm dating myself here, OPP,
Mhm.
Enter Sandman, Bruce Springsteen. You could have all these artists in the same hour, and it was always fresh and exciting. Alice in Chains was starting to bubble. STP was a big band. Pearl Jam was a big band. But then you had Natalie Imbruglia. You had, the hell's the name? I can see her face in my head with the nose ring. What if God were one of us? Joan Osborne.
Mhm.
And you could follow that up with Ozzy Osbourne.
Mhm.
And it all made sense because it was chart radio. These were the best-selling artists. I turned on the old station that I used to work for that still calls it Today's Hits.
Mhm.
Won't mention their name. Every song sounded the same. It was like 30 minutes of listening to the same song on a loop.
Yeah.
It just drives me nuts.
Well, remember we talked about the Millennial Loop,
Yes.
whatever
Mhm.
that they stole from Tarzan Boy. But besides the point,
Baltimore in the house.
greatest song ever. Uh,
I don't know about that.
Actually,
but-
for like New Year's, we shut the TV off,
Mhm.
we shut the Minecraft off, and we played our Heart Radio '90s, and some of the songs they were playing were just fantastic. Looking Jabroni is also on iHeartRadio.
Look us up.
But some of the songs they were playing was fantastic. So they had like the rock songs and all that, but they also had the Euro pop songs that were fucking great.
What was that? Barbie Girl?
Not Barbie Girl, like where do you go, my lovely? That one.
Oh, where did you? I know.
oh,
And
God,
Ace of
like-
Base and stuff like that.
It reminded me.
Fuck that stuff.
It reminded me of one of my favorite CDs that if I could find it, I'd still be rocking it to this day. Like I might actually, and use the P word, pirate,
Oh!
because it's never on any. Of
You
the
yell
streaming
at me
services.
for that shit.
Club Mix '97.
Club Mix 97.
One of my favorite CDs. I remember I had the audio cassette at first, and I played the fuck out of that thing in my car. When I finally got a CD player, I bought it again on CD, played the fuck out of that, lost that CD, got it again for Christmas one year, and played the fuck out of it. I don't know
Nice.
why. It's just one of those iconic CDs you have that
Mhm.
no matter what, you freaking
It has
love
to be there, yeah.
Yeah.
I get
So-
it. Compilations like that are always great.
But I used to love. That's back when they used to care about danceable music. Club MTV Party to Go used to love music.
You can say danceable music, but you can point to the rock music or the country music. All the country music guys want to do now, and girls, is be hip hop. No, country and hip hop should have their lanes. We've mentioned that before. Stay in your lane. Can you do a crossover? Sure, why not? Once in a blue moon, it makes sense. Not every song has to sound like hip hop
I
if
don't.
you're out there promoting yourself as country music.
I don't think they've done it right.
No, nobody
But
has.
Nelly's country right now, so
Yeah. Well, we'll leave
it-
Nelly alone. I'll hit you with a gimmick.
I'm going on my third gimmick already.
Oh man, this is what happens.
Right.
Sorry we're late tonight. If you're watching live, if you are audio only, we are on time because you picked the time. where you listen to us on any format.
Yeah, Loki's
Apple
taking a
Podcast.
deserved day off.
Yeah, he really needs it.
He
Without,
deserves
without
it,
going into
so
detail, my
we
man.
love you.
Yes, absolutely. Raise
Yeah,
your
we miss you, but
gimmicks
we
in the
love
air,
you.
brother. We can't wait to see you next week. We'll have a great topic. We're just today is really just covering all the bases.
I was talking to him on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure he's coming with a vengeance, folks.
For 2019, yeah, all of us.
The man's been down, and he's coming up, and he's coming up hard.
Well, see, and that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about. Is that for me? Somebody asked me, give me one word that describes your 2019. What do you want from it? Which, I could say family, I could say this, I could say that, but that's what you want every day. The word I came up with was triumph.
Mm-hmm.
We work hard at what we do on this show, C&J Speedway Review, Basement Quest, the soon-to-be My Journey with Music, all of it.
I'm actually working on more of the writer focus as we speak.
Nice.
Because I did one episode and never again.
Right. But we work our ass off,
yeah.
and there are still people that want to, put you under their heel. And
I don't know if you folks have watched it yet, but watch the Christmas special. I know it's out of Christmas.
Oh, it's
watch
hilarious.
it. You know what? It ain't perfect, but it was fun to do.
It's just us being us with a
Yeah.
Christmas theme, and it was so much fun.
And it was fun to do, and only one copyright strike. But
Oh, wait, I thought you said two, Mexico and Germany, wasn't it?
well, the same strike, different.
No
countries.
shit.
Yeah, it won't play in those countries, Mexico and Singapore or something.
Singapore. Well, I don't
For
think we have
Deck
any
the
listeners
Halls.
in Singapore.
But whatever. We did it for the art.
Exactly. We had
And,
fun. I didn't think I would have as much fun as I did.
I
but
didn't think it would come out as good as
the
it
skits
did,
were
actually.
fantastic. The song was
A lot of
great.
folks, a lot of improvisation with what little we have.
Of course. And
So-
next year it'll be even bigger and better.
That seriously, that's why, folks, we would love for you to actually take advantage of some of the things we offer to monetize this program, because we want to do better than what we're offering.
And that's where the word triumph comes in. I want this to be a triumphant year, not only on a personal level, for all of us, you, me, Mike, our women, our families, whatever. I want it to be triumphant for the shows that we do, all of them across the board. But I also want it to be triumphant to where, again, it's hard to believe that 4 years in, there are still people close to us, family and friends, that still think, you know what, that'll go away. Bide time. They'll get sick of trying to do this. We're not trying. We do this. We set aside
I'll tell you right now,
time, space, and energy.
if it goes away, it just means we're going to try something else.
Damn right. Because
But,
that's what we are. People can say, well, you don't like your job, get a better job.
I
Easy.
did.
Yes, you did. Congratulations. Don't like your woman or your man, get a better one. Well, I seem to think there are no such thing as better. It's just more your type or whatever. Don't get me started. That's for Valentine's Day when we do that show. I look at, as much as 2018 was a personal shit year for me, and there was a lot of upcoming goodness that came out of the latter half of 2018. Triumph. I want to make myself better every day, and I want people to understand, especially you, that the listener, there are probably a lot of blessings in your life that you don't see on a daily basis. You just think everything sucks, I don't make enough money, my kid's a jerk, whatever. There's a lot of blessings that you can get if you just open your eyes. I look at Tuesday nights when usually we're all sitting here during the racing season, every Wednesday night when I get to sit down here and talk to Corey about auto racing. I don't have a lot of friends that dig auto racing, so it's nice to have that outlet. If there was a football show that I wanted to do, I'm sure Mike would be a part of it. Mark Gazzarchi would want to be a part of it. Too many people.
Mhm.
There's too many people. But how do you put this? We're like pigeonholing. We're saying, okay, the Loki and Jabroni show sits here, the racing thing sits here, and Chris's music thing sits here, and Mike's gaming thing sits here. But at the end of the day, it's all one continual family. I really want to stress that word, family. What we do is not a joke. We bust our ass, and we still have time to go out and work 50 hours a week, and we still have time for our families. We still have time to do the things we need to do. This only encompasses a couple hours of our week. But at the same time, we're working hard. We're busting our ass. And I hope it shows in whatever we do, especially on this front, the Loki and Jabroni show. Because I know, hopefully, in the next 2 weeks, as much as I don't want to pimp the show, but it is talking about future plans, I have a potential Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series guest coming. Can't say his name, but if we get him, it's going to be huge. It's going to be awesome. is hopefully going to be rookie of the year in 2019.
Fantastic.
Yes, and that came through a friend. I want to give a shout out to Mike Cronin right now for starting to getting the ball rolling to make that happen. So
Talladega better happen soon because Corey's like he's fading. He's looking like the Thanos snap right now. He's kind of he's like
leaning
he's
to
like,
the left.
he's
You
like
mean
Jabroni?
Daytona's the first race of the
is
year?
it Daytona?
Yes,
He's
that's
like,
where
he's like Jabroni. I don't feel so good. No.
Good night. And he just doesn't have the oomph that he does during the regular season.
Yeah,
But
you can tell this kid breathes, sleeps.
without question.
Like his O face probably includes him screaming NASCAR at the top of his lungs. NASCAR, good night.
Oh my lord! I wonder if he stubs his toe. Most people say, "Oh God" or "Jesus Christ." I wonder if he says, "Dale Earnhardt." You know, it's just one of those things that you have to think about. Corey, we love you. Just busting your chops.
If
right
he's
now.
watching right now, he'd be like, "Man, motherfuckers,
Right.
I'm gonna."
They bug my love you, Chelsea.
Oh my god, they're so happy it makes me puke.
Doesn't it kill you?
Fuck, man.
Every fucking picture is 10-mile smiles and everybody's happy and they don't know life yet.
Yeah,
They don't know
they're
life yet.
too nice and perfect. There's got to be something wrong.
I don't know.
There's got to be like a controversial sex tape or something.
Maybe. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
not Corey.
No, not Corey.
No, don't want
Well,
Corey.
maybe if it is Corey.
Maybe it is Corey. I just don't want to watch it.
Yeah, me neither.
No, Corey, still love you, but
it'll-
I don't want to see you naked.
It'll ruin my image of him.
Poor
Find out he's got like a 20-inch dick or something. And be like,
Jesus.
fuck, man.
Oh man. So where do we go from here?
That escalated quickly.
Right. 2018 was a fun year for us here. We had Mandy Malone, which is still
fantastic interview.
between her and Wisman, they're tied for favorite guests of the year.
Yes, I still and I think like one of the most downloaded shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, besides, unfortunately, the Flat Earth show beat you both.
No,
So
fuck.
apparently Thompson brought his army with him.
Clearly,
But we thank you for the download.
yeah, absolutely, much appreciated. Yeah, the love shows. Not really, but
Yeah.
you brought up Thompson, and a lot of people are sharing videos he makes. He calls it flat smacking, where he just goes out into public like at a Target or a Best Buy and tells people the earth is flat or whatever, which I can't watch. But somebody passed along one of these videos to me and says, you got to watch this one. He goes into a Target. He's got his little gimmick phone and he's...
First of all, that's my territory. You don't fuck with Target.
Well, luckily he wasn't around here. Steven Waddick, he's not watching now, but he'll probably listen. Hello, Steven. Said if I ever saw this guy in public, I'd punch him. I was like, you call me first. I'll drive up there. I'll meet you. I'll call out of work. I'll do what I got to do. Just want to... Fuck, I hate that guy. Anyway.
No, well, we should go on the road with a camera and be like, excuse me, we just wanted to... We're trying to get the opinion on the street. Is Nathan Thompson a cunt?
That would be the best. And we start in Stephen Waddick's driveway.
Is Nathan Thompson a cunt? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Without
well,
question.
Can't fucking stand that guy. But he's in the Target, right? And he's going around, he's asking people, and he leans over. There's a woman who's got like a 4 or 5-year-old kid in the buggy. And he leans over and he starts whispering in the kid's ear, the earth is flat. She's like, you can't talk to my kid. You cannot just do that to my kid.
Yeah. No,
Exactly,
that's
right?
creepy as
He says,
fuck.
no, there's nothing illegal about it. Yeah, there's a lot illegal about it. You
As
can't...
soon as she says, don't talk to my kid,
Bingo. Done.
leave.
And that's why this guy pisses me off so much. He just thinks the rules don't apply to me. I'm going to feed you full of all my bullshit. He's selling fucking pamphlets online for people to pass out. Like, literally. If you and I believe in something and we want to spread the word, here, take some pamphlets. Go about your business. Thank you for supporting the cause. No, he's telling people, send me $100. I'll send you a box of 300.
Well, this is his business. This is his... Here's the thing.
It's
It's
a
a side
scam.
hustle. It's a side hustle.
It's not even a side hustle.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna knock the brother for making paper. I'm not. But
Oh, wait till you're done.
I mean, what he's saying is garbage.
Right?
But this is why he did the whole thing. I don't really believe he believes the shit he's saying.
Funny thing, you brought up the interview and him being
Yeah.
here and all that bullshit. I follow a group that mocks Nathan Thompson, and one of the guys mentioned our interview. Never mentioned us by name, but he's like, "Yeah, one of the guys in this group on his podcast, him and his buddies, interviewed Thompson, and Thompson agreed to an hour. And after 35 minutes, after he spewed his filth and they started asking him questions, he was like, yeah, dudes, I gotta go to dinner with my girl. And the next thing he wrote was, you know damn well he ain't got no girl.
You might.
He might. I don't know whether she's inflatable, real, or other. Another topic I want your opinion on it. We have to talk about it after we're done with Thompson, because it's kind of the same.
This is a 2018 highlight, so we have to.
Well, it happened in 2018, so we
have to mention him. Unfortunately,
just it's nice to know. First of all, I think your name was Terry, so Terry, thank you for the plug on the Flat Earth and Globe Discussion is a joke page. Everybody keep it up. You guys followed me in calling him Cuntin. You guys keep, every time he puts up a video, I look at his stuff on YouTube. You see Nathan Thompson is a cunt. I can't say I invented it. I just put those words together for the first time, and you guys ran with it. Thank you so much. But I'm going to say 4 words to you, and I'm sure you've seen the video by now. I'm sure you've seen the backlash. Macho Ma'am Tranny Savage.
Oh, I saw that.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm tired, and I'm sick, and I'm sick, and I'm tired, and this goes into a discussion I'd love to have my Eternal Flames niece come on the show for 15 minutes, a 19-year-old girl who has got her head on straight and says, all of this is bullshit. I love her to death. Jaylene, if you're out there, big ups. What do you think of the Macho Ma'am Tranny Savage and the GameStop incident? Happened in 2018. We have to talk about it tonight.
Well,
I know this is compelling content.
all right. Here's the thing. I'm one of those people. I'm not so hung up on the pronoun thing. Like, if you look like a chick, I'll call you she. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't like is how for the beginning of history, man was man, woman was woman, boy was boy, girl was girl.
Preach on, brother Eddie.
And then all of a sudden, overnight,
seemingly, yeah,
like you expect everyone to suddenly, cater to whatever. And some people, they leave it a mystery. What are you today? They leave it this absolute mystery. And if you say the wrong thing, you're a hateful bigot.
Oh, cripes!
And people are losing their fucking jobs.
Yes, they are.
So, with as you call it, Macho Man.
Well,
Tranny
Macho
Savage.
Ma'am Tranny Savage.
Macho Ma'am Tranny Savage.
Angela said it best. You got a dude with a 5 o'clock shadow, pink clothes, big earrings, the hair. Look,
which is nothing we haven't seen before.
Right.
And
but if you make a mistake like that, obviously somebody called. I'm going to say this person, because if you got Frank and Beans, you are technically a man. I don't care what you say. It's scientific. It's proven. I had a medical doctor, more than one, prove this. I wanted to bring them on the show. One male, one female. Funny how that works.
It would be career ending for them, probably,
if they used their names or somebody recognized them. Yes,
like,
but they were nice.
But
enough,
it's ridiculous.
But they were nice enough to give me the information. You have Frank and Beans, you're a guy. You got a hatchet wound, you're a woman. And I'm breaking it down. I'm being coarse for a reason, because it's garbage. Now look, there was something I shared on New Year's Eve. It's 2018. I can talk about it. Where a 10-year-old transgender boy who thinks he's a girl.
This is the one that was actually at that
at the strip
burlesque club there,
and now
guys were throwing dollars.
Right,
at it.
And now he, she, them, Schnabitz Jones, I don't care. I'm done with playing the role, and it goes to what you were saying, and I'll get to that in a second, is starting a dating site for transgendered preteens. First of all, if you're a preteen, you don't know what the fuck you are. Your human sexuality doesn't hit until puberty. You don't know. Your weenie doesn't know what to do. Your vajayjay doesn't know what to do. Well, you don't know what to do.
I won't go that far, but that's not something should be done online. You date in school.
In the day of predatory people, you're right.
You date in school. You go to middle school.
Oh, yeah. You hold hands, you
go
pass
to the
notes.
Dances and stuff. You learn how to interact with real people. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be a dating site for anyone under 18. I'm sorry.
Right. And now there are certain states that are saying, and this is what kills me, because now the government is starting to feed this bullshit. When your baby is born, here comes, we'll use you and Amy as an example. Should you and Amy ever procreate? Here comes a baby. The doctor's there. Okay, you're crowning. Here it comes. I got the head. Pull it out. It's got a schmeckle. It's a boy.
Yeah.
There are certain states that are now starting legislation, and one state, can't remember which one, I want to say Wisconsin maybe, I might be wrong, listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, has now given parents the option to choose male, female, or gender X. Horse shit, I don't know which button it is. How about this one? Horse shit. Look, there are, don't get me started with it's a social construct, gender is, no, fuck you. Doctors go to school for years to learn the human body, how to heal it, how to deal with it. There are two genders. Now, you can have all the other things, and then you get this identify. Angela came up with a great thing the other night. She identifies as a cat. She wants to be called Mrs. Feline, and if you want to talk to her, you have to go, here, kitty, 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 and she'll talk to you. That's what this fucking country is becoming. What I identify as a Tomahawk helicopter. You have to call me Tom 14. Fuck that.
What scares me, and I'm actually going to follow this closely because I'm starting to see a lot of it on Twitter, and I'm actually starting to see it from not so much here yet, but over in the UK, where pedophilia, they're trying to move it into the direction of a sexual orientation, and we talked about this.
Oh no. I know. I read that article. Fuck no.
What the hell's her name? Markle.
Yes, Meghan Markle.
And there are people on Twitter that are like, there's a guy who actually said pedophilia is a sexual orientation, and he called the person a bigot.
What?
And I'm like, I'm flabbergasted because and we talked about this remember they were all fired up about the Freddie Mercury and the AIDS thing, and it's like, and the stuff our generation, because we're pretty close in age, the stuff our generation,
we're only separated by 4 or 5 years.
I think the stigmas we tried to break was, oh well, gay people aren't going to hurt everybody.
No, they're not
pedophiles. They're not going to hurt anybody. It's
right.
It's natural. This, that, and the other thing. It's two consenting adults.
You want to love a man? Love a man. You want to love a woman? Love a woman.
Because what was the argument at the time? Oh, well, you got to hide your kids.
No,
that was the argument at the time, though.
Fuck no. One of the closest people in my life, a family friend of years and years, was a gay man. From the word go, yes, of course.
It never would hurt a child.
No, obviously not. They left me with him, and I turned out okay. And he never once. It was always, here's the television. Your parents are gone. You're hanging with me. Here's some soda. Here's some chips. All the shit you're not supposed to have. Watch whatever you want on the tube. I'll be in the other room reading my book. Just don't die. Don't break shit. And that was the rules. And Armand was the greatest human being on earth. I didn't know until he died, and I was at the age of 26 when he passed, and I see a man crying his eyes out. I'm like, is that his brother or something? And my aunt says, well, I call her my aunt, not by blood. We all have aunts that aren't aunts. She goes, no, Chris, that was his partner. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me see if I got this right. That's your dad in the casket. That's his partner. And then it made sense. Mm-hmm. Didn't change my opinion of him in the least, but he was 60-something when he passed. Mm-hmm. So he grew up in an era where it wasn't acceptable.
And died.
Right. Yeah. In the 80s and the 90s, it became more acceptable. Now, he died in 1998, so it was more acceptable. But again, you have this tunnel vision, if you will, sometimes about this is the way I was brought up and this is the way it is. And yes, and it seems to happen more and more as we get older. I'm afraid to be 60 because I don't want to be that person who thinks that my generation was the greatest. We all have flaws. Deal with it. But it didn't change my opinion of him one bit. But if he decided he wanted to dress up like a woman, guess what? Underneath, you're still a man. Mm-hmm. Which is going back to Macho Man Tranny Savage. I have a problem with this 6'3" jacked up person just because
he could probably hurt that kid.
Did you hear what he said to the kid?
Yeah.
Come outside, I'll show you, sir.
Yeah.
Which means you still have questions. Look, I don't begrudge anybody. You want to live your life? Live your life. As long as you're not hurting children or fucking horses, I could give a shit. And the second part, I could probably look aside at. As long as it's not one of my horses. I don't have any horses. Doesn't matter. Tommy Summers has horses. Big ups to Tommy Summers. But as long as you're not hurting anybody, that's the whole thing. Eddie and I talk about it a million times per week, whether it's online, in front of each other, or to people we don't mutually know. Individual liberty. I don't give a shit what you do in your house.
Right.
Don't force me and my house to believe in it. Well, if you don't, you're a bigot. No, that's the beauty of being an American. I will allow you, in my mind, I don't care what you do, but you can't force my acceptance. You know who did that shit? Hitler. How'd that turn out? So all these people who are screaming Trump is Hitler have it wrong.
Literally.
They have
Hitler.
it wrong. You're Hitler. You're the one trying to force people to believe what you believe blindly. I believe that people should be able to fuck an ice cream cone and you have to accept it. No, I don't. Unless you feed me, fuck me, or finance me, you don't tell me dick.
If it doesn't break my legs or pick my pocket, I don't care.
Basically,
But
yes, you live your life, I'll live mine.
But the thing I'm concerned with, and right now it's so minor, but the thing I'm concerned with is if they start going down this route, that pedophilia is an orientation,
Oh, Christ.
you're going to fuel the fire of everyone who said, well, you can't let gay people do that because next thing you know, they're going to want to, they're going to come for your kids. It's going to validate everything that the real bigots.
We're going to reverse all the forward momentum that we've done over the last 20 years. And I say we
Exactly.
because really it was our
It was
generation.
a generation of people.
Sure was.
I'm sure that the millennials will be like,
To find out,
but-
again, I'll never forget it. It was a Sunday. It was November 24th, 1991, sitting in my parents' basement, home on leave, playing cards with my buddies, to find out Freddie Mercury died.
Mhm.
And to find out Freddie Mercury died of AIDS. Nobody gave a shit. We lost a musical icon.
That's what we were concerned with.
Yeah. All of us
We
were
lost
like,
a great man.
we
didn't care.
Exactly.
We didn't care who he fucked.
I don't care. And then 6 hours later, Eric Carr dies. So that was a real dark Sunday for me. So move forward. The guy from The Real World, which really broke open the parameters of what people, Pedro Zamora, it broke open the parameters of what people saw gay people, and I throw up the air quotes for those of you listening on audio only, so you know, quotations, what gay people were all about.
Mhm.
And then you find out more and more, as I did at that funeral, as I do at work. I work with an openly gay man.
Mhm.
One of the coolest people in the history of the world. I don't care. I don't care. As long as you're a good person, I can converse with you. We get the job done, what have you. You go home, do what you want to do. I go home, I do what I want to do. It's time that I hate to step on you, but it's time. It's time for society to care less about you need to accept me and start saying, well, we all have the ability and the right to say, I don't need to accept that, but I appreciate and respect your right to do so.
It's funny that you say that because I used to work with an openly gay man who would he'd fly off the handle if you questioned his manhood. I know.
All right, I can
weird.
see that. I can see that.
That sounds weird, but like, here's the thing: like, he was probably. I'll put it this way: he was probably as metal as you can get. He had the gauges. He was as metal as you can get. But he was told.
All right, remind me, gay and metal when you're done.
He was 100%. He called himself a golden gay because he had never been touched by a woman. That's what he said.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I used to rip him all the time. Like, so you're a virgin? And he'd be like, "Fuck you, Eddie." But dude, no, like, he used to say, like, he's like, dude.
A lot of people say "fuck you, Eddie," don't they?
They do, actually. And like, literally, we'd be talking about it, and he'd be like, "Dude, you know what fucking pisses me off is like these fucking gay people go around going, hey girlfriend, you ain't a fucking girl, you're a fucking man."
Nice.
He used to say that, like, you're a fucking man. It has whether or not you're having sex with another man or dating another man is
irrelevant.
You're still a man. There's no reason why you can't maintain your manhood.
Judge Judy would eat your lunch.
Right. No, he was very, very intent on saying, I am not less of a man because of who I'm attracted to.
Agreed.
And I was like, you know what? I like it.
I'll say his name. His name is Jim. He's the guy I work with, the openly gay man. He's been in a fantastic relationship for the better part of 9 months now. I dig Jim. I think the world of Jim. Jim is a man's man.
I think, like,
he's a man's man. And he can just as easily run a forklift or cry watching a movie. Hell, I cry watching movies.
I forget his name. The gay wrestler there.
Darren Young.
Masculine man.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cared because that's our society. We've broken through these boundaries and these walls.
But I think the problem, you know, and I think probably some gay people fall into this trap where they're told that obviously masculinity is toxic.
Oh, stop.
That you're less of a man.
Stop.
And honestly, I think that's where a lot of the hostility comes from. You know, granted, you know, there's a lot
Masculinity is toxic. So being okay, let's start using every fucking term I can think of to outline this. So if you are a young male person of the heterosexual orientation and somehow helping an old lady across the street or opening a door for a woman,
hit the button.
Or say, go ahead.
Toxic.
Horse shit.
Horse shit.
Or lifting wood, or, you know, cooking
Chopping
dinner.
wood!
Cooking dinner for your woman, or just doing things because we're all equal in the eyes of God. And I'm a God-fearing man, guys. This is where all that, when somebody says you just don't understand, you don't do, fuck that. There have been years where religion will tell you homosexuality is a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Homosexuals should be stoned or whatever. I don't believe that. But I still believe in God. But at the same time, live your life. But don't force me to do so. Going back to that, why is masculinity toxic? Women keep talking about, and this is where, I say this is where it started. I don't need no man. I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need you. I don't need you. And I don't need you until you need the fucking mayonnaise jar opened or you need something done in your bathroom that you don't want to do because you don't want to get your manicure that you got yesterday fucking dirty and you call, can you come in here? Women, okay, not all women, but women in general have played this card for far too long. I'll punch my man in the mouth. I'm going to kick him in the dick. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And if you hit a man long enough, that man is going to curl up a fist and punch you in the mouth.
Remember the shit Whoopi Goldberg got for saying that women need to stop hitting men thinking that they're going to be chivalrous over that shit. Because remember the was it the football player?
Yeah.
Ray
Rice.
He got clacked by his girl like 3 times and he finally just wrecked her.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and she's right.
And Whoopi Goldberg got so much shit.
But she's right.
She said he's wrong, but women need to stop smacking men around thinking that they're not going to get hit.
Hit me once. All right. I'm okay. I'm a man. I'm going to suck it up and deal with it. Yes, I'm a masculine male. I am not going to turn around and pile drive a woman like Jerry the fucking King. And not that Jerry the King ever pile drived a woman, but that's the pile driver. You get it. See, I have to explain shit now because now people go, what? He wants to pile drive women? Shut up. Just shut up. Not you, them. Shut up. Not you, the listener, them, the crazy people.
Somebody shut up.
Somebody shut up. Smack me once, punch me once, whatever. It's all good. Smack me, do what you want. The minute you curl up a fist, it means you want to fight, and I'm going to make you swallow your fucking teeth. Done.
We need to stop hitting each other.
And if masculinity is toxic, open the fucking pickles yourself. It's that simple. All right, let's move right along. We talked about the Macho Man, Tranny Savage. We talked about the other cunt, Nathan Thompson. We talked about Mandy. Man, you know what's the funny thing? The great thing about Mandy and Jimmy Whisman is they both become great friends.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
Now that I think about it, that video with the boxer Mayweather.
Yes.
Mandy had shared it. That's where I first saw it.
Nice.
That's where I first saw it. Actually,
Mandy's become quite the friend. I did a live feed down
sure
here.
It was her.
Probably.
She also shared another one with two boxers, this short boxer and this tall boxer, 2 women, and the short one clocked the tall one just right, freaking knocked her out flat, didn't get up.
Right.
Instant referee didn't even count. Instant knockout.
If women want an example of what a strong woman is, you find Mandy Malone
or Sandra Bullock in Bird Box.
We'll talk about Bird Box in a few minutes. 2018, we got to talk about it.
Great movie.
It was fantastic. But I sent you that article. Did you read it? Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Mandy Malone is the epitome of a strong woman. Went through hell. It was in Sports Illustrated. The article's right over there. I'm not going to get up to get it. You guys all knew about the interview. I keep telling people, go back. That is our benchmark of 2018, is Mandy Malone. She did a live feed with me one night just for shits and giggles. I was sitting in this chair. Yep. We had so much fun, and she dispelled all of the bullshit that women seem to promulgate to say, oh, well, we're strong, but we're weak. We're this, but we're that. You can't play a different card on a different day. Pick a lane and drive through. Either you're weak and you need a man, or you're strong, you'd like a man, but you don't need a man to survive. You need to pick a lane and drive through. You can't play the card
Strength
willy-nilly.
is subjective.
Yes, and that's what Mandy said, and I appreciate her for it. And going back to Jimmy Wisman, who, through his show, Crime and Sports, which we were listening to before we went on the air, basically that was how I was introduced to Mandy. Found her on Facebook, knew the article was coming out. Mandy, can you come on the show? Boom. We make connections in so many ways on
Her
this
daughter
show.
is adorable, by the way.
She is.
She's
She's a hot ticket.
Yeah,
She's fantastic. I
hilarious.
think her name is Mia. So Mia, if you're out there, you're watching, Logan Jabroni
Yeah.
Show loves you, and keep being you, kid. You're fucking fantastic.
That kid's gonna turn out okay.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's good to see, like, we talked about Crime and Sports before we went on the air about how many of them don't come out on the other side.
Yeah.
And I think we came up with 3: Mandy Malone, Jake Roberts, and there was one other that they did that really turned their life around. Don't kill yourself thinking about it, but there were 3 really, and they do well. And then
and it looks like we're gonna see real change in that sport, in the Taekwondo.
Yes.
So that more importantly,
and that goes right back.
It's great
to
that Mandy is fine, but it's even better that they're gonna see some real change in that sport.
And I think it goes
and
back to that article.
Especially with Congress is involved. I think they're useless.
Yep.
But as I said to her in the interview, like, don't you
Right.
want to talk to someone useful?
No,
But,
I talked to Richard Blumenthal. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I said that in my live feed. Well, we just did a thing with Richard Blumenthal from your state. I'm sorry.
I apologize
He doesn't.
ahead of time.
He doesn't he represents the state. He doesn't represent us.
He's like gone senile. He thought he was at Vietnam or some shit.
Right.
There'll be
no talk of Vietnam.
And I'm just gonna throw this out there, even though it's totally unrelated. Fuck Chris Murphy.
There you go. So, thank you to those 2, Manny Malone and Jimmy Wisman, for making 2018 on this show really, really awesome. We didn't have a lot of guests this year, but we had some good. We had Brett Lightning, which was fun. Talking about Vixen and having a good time. What else did we do this year? We're pimping ourselves now.
Oh my god, what else did we do in 2018?
It was a real. We
had some fun shows. We
couple of events.
We introduced a new segment.
Yep, the buy and sell was my favorite.
And you did the musical poetry.
Mm-hmm. That'll come back next week.
Do you know what's fucked up is I gotta be honest with you, I was not that happy with Do You Know What's Fucked Up this year.
Yeah, you know what? The more
I think the first year obviously was peaked because Florida never let us down.
but then you said we can't go to Florida.
I know. It was just because everything's happening in Florida. But you know what? I'm rescinding that.
Thank you. 2019.
I'm not.
Florida comes back.
I'm not rescinding the wrestler who shall not be named. You can't bring him up ever again.
Crispin.
Don't do it. Don't bring him up in 2019.
I didn't say his name. It's Crispin.
Just leave it.
Wow.
Just leave it alone.
I can bring him up.
No.
Well, wait a minute. Let's say we have a wrestling guest, and he happened to face Crispin. Wow.
The only way he would even bring it up, because they've all vowed a code of silence, is if you ask him, which you do every time. It's like, hi, my name is Chris. So, Chris Benoit.
I didn't ask Nathan Thompson about Chris Benoit.
You wanted to. I could see it in
I
your
didn't ask
eyes.
Mandy Malone about Chris. I did ask Jimmy Wisman about Chris Benoit.
You wanted to, though. I saw the beads of sweat coming off your brow. And it's just like, it's like a heroin addiction. You just got to talk about him.
I'm gonna give you guys just a little hope for this show for 2019. I want Gary back. Gary Wolf, Pitbull #1, ECW's original Dog of War. I want Gary back for a wrestling episode. Every time we talk to that guy, he is phenomenal. Also, we covered it briefly on a show around October, November. Kiss is going on the road. Last time ever. Bill Starkey, baby.
Starkey.
Bill Starkey needs to come back with a vengeance. We're going to talk the end of the road. And, somebody asked me the other day, it was the funniest thing, are you going to go see Kiss? I'm like, I've seen them 45 times in my lifetime. I'm obviously not on the upper echelon scale of crazy fans.
In your luck,
somewhere in the middle.
Knowing your luck, though, this is actually the legit last tour.
Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter. The last show I went to was, in my mind, if that's the last show I went to, August 10, 2014, I brought my daughter, made up in Kiss paint. That could be it for me.
Yeah.
Because I hoist her up on my shoulders. The house lights go down. Before the show even starts, Def Leppard is the opener. They're going through all the hits, man. We're having a good time. We have a blanket. We're on the lawn at the Meadows, which is now the Xfinity Tampax Bloody Tampon Center, whatever.
God,
It
dude.
changes names every year. I just call it the Meadows. But she lays down on the blanket. She puts her hands behind her head and just lays back. I'm like, Em, what are you doing? Def Leppard's on stage. Watch the show. She goes, you know what? 6 years old. She says, you know what? Def Leppard's good. I came here to see Kiss. I'm like, all right then. So Def Leppard's like, thank you, Harvard. Good night.
That's logic.
You're right. You know, you got the 20-minute interlude where they're tearing down the set. The house lights go down. You get the hum. And I try to describe the hum to people, but unless you've heard it, you don't know. But it's an audio.
I know that hum.
And
That-
she's like,
that-
Dad, pick me up. Threw her up on top of my shoulders. The first thing she says was, hope they play Psycho Circus first. So the guy comes on. Oh, right, Hartford. There's my kid, 6 years old, on top of my shoulders, screaming, you wanted the best, right along with him. Kiss. The house lights go ding. The curtain drops. They're playing Psycho Circus. I've got a 40-pound 6-year-old on my shoulders, freaking out, flailing, having a good time. I'm like, okay, I get it. She's singing along to every lyric. Best part, about halfway through the show, they start to play Lick It Up. Easily the worst song they ever did. Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. I'm like, right now? She goes, yeah, I waited for Lick It Up. I'm like, that's my kid. That's my fucking kid. She enjoyed the whole show. She talked about it forever. She still talks about it to this day. She still wants to go see Taylor Swift. I kind of do, as long as I have earplugs.
It's on Netflix.
I know. I just saw that last night. And
Can I say something?
yes,
About Taylor Swift?
sure.
Girl's getting thick as fuck.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, what the hell?
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
She's growing into her body, man.
Like,
It only
hey.
took her 27 years,
yeah,
but
I know, right?
because she was like this. She was like a little twig.
I know. Yeah,
But-
I feel almost bad saying it since she's practically my neighbor, but
Yeah, well,
you know,
why don't you get her on the show, neighbor?
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, if August 10th, 2014 was the last time I ever saw Kiss, it's all good. But I'm also not willing to pay $79 for a nosebleed seat simply for the privilege, quotations again,
here's my
of seeing
prediction.
Kiss.
Here's my prediction. Okay, let's say this is the last final tour.
Yes.
3 years from now,
Mhm.
you're gonna be able to see Gene Simmons at the Wolf Den
I don't doubt that.
doing Firestarter.
Oh God. But that, see, as long as if you say like Motley Crue did, it's 2019 now, so 2015-16 was the end, the
Mhm.
final tour. We are no longer touring. We'll still make music. We will still, do things. Obviously, Nikki Sixx with 6 a.m. and his radio show. The band is 6 a.m. The radio show is 6 Cents. Tommy Lee obviously has a hand in a lot of different music. Vince Neil just keeps getting fatter. Nobody knows what happened to Mick Mars. But they're not touring. They're no longer a touring entity.
Mhm.
They signed a contract. My question is, I went to 8 shows on the farewell tour, quotes, in 2000, thinking, this is the last time I'm going to see Kiss. 3 years later, they're on the road. But the explanation was it was the farewell to the original band. That band will never be together again. Kiss can survive.
Mhm.
Okay, fair. My problem is I don't want to see, much like you see with other bands, and I don't know, I'm just going to pull one out of my ass. It's never happened, but it could happen. Mick Jagger's Rolling Stones, where it's Mick and a backup band.
Mhm.
You see it all the time. The Wolf Den, you mentioned the Wolf Den at Mohegan Sun, Uncasville, Connecticut, where one guy from the Temptations is doing the Temptations with a bunch of, also rans. I don't want to see that.
Well, David Ruffin's dead, so
Yeah, I don't know
I
which
think-
one it was.
I think there's only a couple. of them even left.
James, I can't remember his last name. Fuck. He was Cool in the Gang. James something and Cool in the Gang. No, you're not Cool in the Gang.
Well,
But David Gilmour's made a career out of it with Pink Floyd.
You know what? You know what's fucked up? There was a whole documentary about this. So what is it? Sugar Hill Gang.
Yes.
So Sugar Hill Gang. If you ever see Sugar Hill Gang booked at a venue, that is not Sugar Hill Gang,
Same with Menudo.
because one of the members of Sugar Hill Gang and a couple other ones, the name was trademarked by their label,
Mhm.
Sugar Hill Records.
Right.
So if you see a group booked as Rapper's Delight,
Mm-hmm.
that's Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah,
Because there's a documentary called "I Want My Name Back" or something.
I saw
like
that.
Yeah, and so the original group goes under Rapper's Delight, but
Queen-
the original group, to their credit, the original group has become a band.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're playing their instruments and
Oh,
the
yeah.
bass and stuff.
Queensryche is going through the same thing. The band itself originally Queensryche, and they hired Jeff Tate, and I know without Loki here, it's not going to get him hot, so I can talk about it. But then somehow Jeff Tate and his wife / manager, whatever, found a way to copyright the Queensryche name. So now Tate leaves.
Mhm.
They go to court, and they say, okay, yeah, you did copyright this, but these 4 guys, aside from Jeff Tate, were in existence pre-Jeff Tate. They get the name.
Mhm.
So Tate's out on the road with a band called Operation Mindcrime, one of their most famous albums. Queensryche goes on with, I don't want to say a less talented singer, but a different kind of
Yeah.
singer than Jeff Tate. It's not the same. I went and saw him. I left after 3 songs. Was not thrilled, but
It's kind of like with Sammy Hagar Jr. I wouldn't call him better. He's different.
Sammy
than-
Hagar Jr.
or Sammy Hagar Jr.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth. I wouldn't say Sammy Hagar is better. He's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I would put it.
And we've settled that in the great Van Halen debate this past year.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to accept that.
Another great show.
Oh my God, Chris Lynch. We'll have him back before you know it. Could have had him here tonight. I didn't know we'd be solo Crackola tonight, but what a great episode that was. We brought out all the best points, all the worst points. We talked about Gary Sharon, whether we wanted to or not. We came to the conclusion that Sammy
Gary Sharon was
Hagar.
the best.
Sammy Hagar. Well, did you just say Gary Sharon was the best?
I was trying to trigger you.
That's all right.
Someone needs. to
And
get
we
triggered.
also said, which a lot of people don't want to accept, is that in Van Halen, Michael Anthony, his bass playing, his backup vocals, everything he brought to the band is tantamount to that sound you heard from '78 till today on record. Because, except for the last record, because it was Eddie's kid playing bass and doing backup vocals, that harmony's not there anymore.
No, I don't think it's the same band.
No, it really isn't. It's the Van Halen brothers. It's David Lee Roth, the original singer, and it's Ed's kid. He doesn't have the chops that Mike had. He doesn't have the voice that Mike had. There's a lot that he didn't have. You know what? I'm so happy with the way things are going right now, and I don't know how much time we have left, but I'll donate a gimmick to you. Only if for the next 45 to 60 seconds, you tell these fine folks about Twitter, affiliates, Patreon, etc. If you do that, I'll reach into the gimmick chamber and I'll get you a gimmick. Your call.
Well, Twitter is a social media site.
No, about our Twitter, dumbass.
Oh, at Loki and Jabroni. Patreon is www.patreon.com/Loki and Jabroni. Go to the website www.lokiandjabroni.com
I'll explain it in a minute.
and show your support. Get involved on the forums, on the website. Shop the affiliates if you want to support the show. We got a lot of great things planned for the future. I know I do. A lot more shows. I'm going to be focusing on the writer focus going forward. I'm probably going to record a new episode of that very soon. The Libertarian Focus. I'm working on it. I have the website, www.libertarianfocus.com. I've got a few blog posts up, but not much else there. And it's going to be a lot of politics, a lot of culture, a lot of things like you can do to make your life better, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum. Real things that you don't hear a lot about that kind of get caught up in the mix. Obviously, Basement Quest is coming, and we're talking games, stuff like that. I'm working on a website now. We'll have a domain soon, and I'll launch it. Yeah, that's basically it for now. Like I said, any support you can give us, www.lokiandjabroni.com/Patreon. If you want merchandise, go to www.cafepress.com/Loki and Jabroni. Pick your favorite host. Get a shirt. There's a Loki shirt. There's a Jabroni shirt. They're similar in style with different colors, each representing their favorite football teams, which they're very big on. And that's basically it.
One of the things I want to do in the future I know. I look at our site and it's got so many shirts, but it's all the same logo. It's different styles, kids. Don't think that we're trying to
We
pimp.
got 2 logos up right now.
Right,
so.
right, right. But we watched a movie last night called The Oath. If you haven't seen it, especially you, Eddie, watch the damn movie. It's called The Oath.
Is that with Jack Nicholson?
No. I'm trying to remember who the big name actor was in the film. He's very recognizable. If you saw his picture, you'd know and go, "Oh, that guy." Funny as hell. It's about trying to get Americans to sign an oath of patriotism, and the guy is like totally libertarian Jones, but he's not. People look at him as liberal, and it's done over Thanksgiving, so you know his family's there,
I'll
and there's a
check it out.
whole lot of shit. But I came up with a name for myself, and I want a shirt. It was in the movie. I want my face on a shirt that says "Fat Ass Patriot." That's what I want, because I am the fat ass patriot. Anyway, like Eddie said, there's a lot of things you can do to support us, and one of the things, share the show with your friends. If you have fun with what we do, and you enjoy the things that we bring up, whether it's football, society, politics, professional wrestling, baseball, music, what have you, the best way you can help us is to tell your friends, and you share the link on Facebook, whether you hear us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find us. If you watch us weekly on the YouTube channel, share it with your friends. Tell your friends, hey, I dig this show, and I think you're going to dig it too. And what you're going to find out is that's how we're going to build that grassroots momentum going forward. As long as Eddie has stepped away, I'm going to sip this beer real quick. Got to keep Sound and Fury going while the producer's away. I do want to talk a little bit about the music podcast that's coming up in the C&J Speed Review. I only have so much time until Eddie shakes it off, dries his hands, and comes down. C&J Speed Review, if you're a NASCAR fan, is our weekly take during the regular season of the week that was and the week that is about to come in the NASCAR world on the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. We break it all down. We talk about the winners, the losers. We make picks. We have fun with it. Myself and Mr. Corey Huffnagel, he of Peabody, Massachusetts. We have a good time. The music podcast coming up is just me being able to share my love of music over every genre and give you guys a little something different. So, and Ed's helping out with all of it. So, you know, the more you share out our content, the more you say, hey, guys, I heard this particular podcast. I think you're going to like it, be it on Facebook, Twitter, or wherever. That means as much to us as a donation does. Not that we're going to say no to your donation. But, of course, if you hear, let's say, this episode, 2018 Musings and Beyond, I'll explain that in a second, Ed. I told you I would. Is it skunky? Because I'll replace it.
It's Coors Light.
All right, it is what it is. That's my dad's favorite beer. It explains a lot. Anyway, if you share the episodes, Mandy shared the episode that she was on. Jimmy shared the episode that he was on. Kunthan Bitchton shared the episode that he was on. As long as you tell people, this is cool, I want you to hear it, maybe if 5 people click it, 3 people like it, and they continue to play, thank you so much. To me, that means more than donations. Although donations don't suck. Well, it's now Apple Podcast. I got yelled at for saying, not by you or any of the staff here, but I get yelled at for calling it iTunes recently. It's like, well, you know it's now Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast reviews, please.
Give us 5 stars. Just let us know you're out there. Lie. Tell the people it's the greatest podcast you ever heard, which it probably is, unless you listen to Joe Rogan. Then he kicks our ass
his
weekly.
His podcast is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't listen to him a lot. I listen to it sparingly when there's a guest I really want to hear.
He's definitely the one that really made it. Like
him and what's the other guy? Carolla.
Well, Adam Carolla invented it pretty much.
Yeah.
But Joe Rogan, I think he's one of the first comedians to do it.
Yep.
And totally, he just made the format work, I think.
And that's one of the well, not those guys that we mentioned, but there is a podcaster out there who is ridiculously famous, who I've reached out to. I'll share this with Eddie when we're done. I would love to have him on the show, not only because he worked in an industry that all of us love. It's not porn, just to start there.
I do love me some porn.
But he does have a very successful podcast, and he is very interactive with his fans. So whether it's episode 200 or the 4-year anniversary, hoping to get this guy on the line. It's going to be fun if we can. He was one of the ones that actually answered me and says, catch me in January. We're in the middle of holidays. Got a lot going on. So that's that on that front.
Yeah.
But, man, how much more fun? This year was actually very fun. We just found new and exciting ways to laugh. Not only at society, but at each other.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're probably the biggest joke going.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, one thing I decided is that I didn't make any New Year's resolutions.
Neither did I.
I did, and I put it on my Facebook.
At least not publicly.
I decided, don't tell me what you're going to do after January. Tell me next December what you did. And that's all I care about, because I don't. Why build yourself up to disappoint? Like they were sharing memes that made perfect sense. I can't wait to meet all these new people in January.
Yeah, they'll be the same asshole they were in February.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. Don't tell me you're gonna lose weight. Just lose weight.
Right. Every one of us.
Don't look for validation. Just fucking do it.
Every one of us, whether we want to admit it or not, has shortcomings that need attention. If you think you don't have any faults, guess what? You're probably the first on the fucking list.
Everybody has faults.
Exactly.
Like, there's no such thing as a perfect person.
Everybody can fix something.
I'm
make this a triumph. I'm going to go back to that word, triumph. Make this a triumphant year for you, for all of us.
Yeah. So seriously, like, don't, because come like December comes, we'll get to the 31st, and everyone's just like I'm gonna make the same promises I made to myself last year and didn't do. Instead, on December 31st, be like, God, this is what I did. All right, I didn't lose 10 pounds.
Reflect.
I didn't lose 10 pounds, but fuck, I got a new job.
You know what? Ed's gonna inspire me right now. Oh, 2009. Let's go to the calendar. I pray that it's a Tuesday night. December 31st is actually a Tuesday night.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. December 31st, 2019 is a Tuesday night. My mistake. We're gonna we'll do
unless the network cancels us, which I am the network, so
it's
probably not gonna happen.
I say we do our thing, and then we all go our separate ways to have our celebrations, or we just celebrate here, the family.
Dude, without Tokyo Sushi, there's no celebration. Right?
We can make a celebration.
That's the only thing that sucked.
Yeah, I know.
But you know what?
Viking Entertainment not doing Tokyo Sushi.
I understand why they had to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously was not. Here's the thing: you can only beat a dead horse for so long, unless you're making a lucrative career out of it.
Right.
And not that as a dead horse. I mean, they left at their peak.
Oh yeah.
But that's probably the only thing that's bummer for me about 2018. Other than that, it wasn't any different than 2017.
Right.
To be honest. Just more of the same shit. People pissed off, bitter. Same.
I will say that the second half of 2018, I made some changes that, were for the better. It's an ongoing process. Nothing happens overnight. Anybody who is smart enough to understand change knows nothing happens overnight.
No.
Unless you hit the lottery.
Well, it takes 30 days to build a habit, 1 day to break one.
Exactly.
So
there's a lot of things that changed. These guys were part and parcel to one of those changes. Go back to, what was it? Favorite wrestlers of all time. Get the complete scoop. When we do a list show.
Yeah.
And we need a list show coming up, and we have to come up with a great list.
Well, I'm working on a segment.
So
I think we should have a segment.
You know us. It won't go 5 minutes.
It will. It will if I make it.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm just looking at the empty chair. There's always somebody that won't let it go just the allotted time.
I see two chairs like
you
that.
Really? 30 seconds, Jones? You want to go to buy and sell? Eddie goes a minute and 38 seconds on a 30-second topic.
Hey, I tried going last time. You wouldn't let me. You kept dragging it on.
You had two good points that I wanted to hear. Now, we've done this segment 7 or 8 times, and you always go over time.
Because he triggers me.
Aw, I'm sorry. Trump's still your president.
Oh, fuck. No, he's head of the executive branch. You know
It
me.
is what it is.
You know me and the Fed.
I'm going to check the score of the Ohio State game. This is how much I love you guys. I did this during the Ohio State game. Could have been upstairs watching football, but I chose to be with you. 49 seconds in the fourth quarter. Ohio State 28, Washington 17. So this is pretty much a done deal. My Ohio State Buckeyes just won the Rose Bowl. Congratulations to them. Nobody has to wear any jerseys because of it. That's another fun episode every year is the aftermath of Ohio State, Michigan, and how, again, you got to be a part of some of this, or you read some of it, or you wanted to stay kind of completely away from it. How people just can't stay in their own fucking lane and root for their team. They have to be hateful to others.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Well, no, I didn't stay away from it. As a matter of fact, I'm like, you know me, I hate the whole, what'd you call it, sweat equity?
Yeah, it basically is. I don't have other than my gear, I don't have any issue. I don't have any, fuck, damn it. No, now you've triggered me. I don't have any bearing in the outcome of an Ohio State game, a Falcons game, a Yankee game, a Bruins game. I don't help Kevin Harvick drive that car. I just like what I like. If they win, and you've known me long enough, you were there at the Super Bowl. I told that story to a Patriots fan at Mark's house this past weekend. I said, when that game was over, the Super Bowl where the Patriots came back in the greatest comeback in football history. It wasn't a choke job. It was the greatest comeback in football history. I looked over to you. I shook your hand. I says, I'll take my medicine when we get back to the studio. I'll put on the Patriots gear. And I did. Because I'm objective, and I also know this isn't war, it's sports. But every week for this season, I had to take some shit from certain people.
The funny thing is, like, that game in particular, I took it for what it was. I'm like, oh my God, it's a fucking miracle. I took it for what? I didn't take it as, fuck the Falcons, you're a piece of shit, you're a fucking...
But there are people that did. How many people with the memes?
I did not carry the ball any yardage.
No, neither did I.
I have no groundage to say that to anybody.
I sat on a stool. I got up to get beer. And the one thing, you were ready, and guys, true story, you were ready to pop the champagne. I said, Ed,
I was like,
there's a fourth quarter to be played, and you looked at me and you went,
I didn't believe it.
You said it can't. It can't happen.
Way.
But I told you
it happened in overtime.
But I told you all year the fourth quarter is not Falcon territory. And what happened? They tied the game. They went to overtime and they win the game. Comeback. Fantastic comeback. I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm a little bitter to certain members of Patriot Nation, but
you're
not
bitter
you.
With the Falcons, though.
I'm more bitter. I'm more bitter with people that
some Patriots fans are assholes.
Exactly. That's who I'm bitter with. And now
so are some Eagle fans,
and so are some Saint fans, and so are.
But
almost every member of Cowboy Nation is an asshole.
Going back the 4 years now, we're on the fourth year. Going back like 4 years when I was like. And you brought up the sweat equity, and I'm like, I fucking hate that about sports. Like, what? The we shit. We did this. We did that. Motherfucker, you didn't do nothing.
I agree.
And I'm like,
but in the midst of a conversation, Ed, if I'm talking to Mike, and the Falcons and the Vikings have just played, or the Red Sox and the Yankees, it's like, you didn't look that good last night. And he says, hey, we did what we could. You guys look great, or vice versa. It's just a pronoun.
Well, you guys are better with it.
Yes, we are.
The problem is, I still believe this. I haven't changed my opinion on it. The we stuff tends to make those nasty people.
Yes.
So, like for example, the Falcons' failure in that Super Bowl does not reflect on.
Was it a failure or was it a triumph by the Patriots? Which is my question.
Either
Same. Okay, gotcha.
The Falcons should have been able to hold up 4 quarters. You know that.
I'd love to believe that, but I watched that team all year.
But their performance on that field has nothing to do with you.
Nope. I get up the next morning, I put my pants on, I go to work.
So some people, it's just like when they get bent out of shape like that. So we'll use that game as an example since it seems to be the classic one.
It really is.
It was a great football. Forget the team.
Best
amazing football.
Super Bowl ever.
Yeah. So moving on from that, like so say me as a Patriots fan, what is the appropriate response in these people's heads? It's like, oh, you lost, so you should be a Patriots fan now.
Oh, you know how many times
Well,
I've been
that's
told I should convert to this team or that team or the other team?
Well, here's the thing: the Patriots would have to do something to make you do that. Not another fan being a dick.
Sign Matt Ryan.
Maybe.
Maybe.
There you go.
If I'm ever going to convert, he's not my favorite, but he's in the top 5.
The point is, it is not. First of all, it shouldn't hinge on one game.
No.
So the Falcons have a history of doing this. You're kind of
that year, the fourth quarter collapse was a real thing.
So if
this year they
went
have more fourth quarter comebacks than anybody, which is strange.
Yeah. So let's say that happened for 5 years.
Mhm.
Okay, then I would honestly say, Chris, have you considered another team? Look at these guys; they're good.
Never.
The Falcons are kind of dropping the ball.
Never.
You know,
Look,
but that's up to you too. You know, it's your choice whether you want to do that. And here's the thing: you shouldn't get any fucking criticism if you did or didn't.
the problem is I get it from assholes, and the same I tell the assholes the same thing I tell the objective people.
Because they couldn't, and I'm not saying I could do it. They could never
Mhm.
run a football like these guys can anyway.
The year was 1991. I was a football fan, but I didn't have a team, so to speak. Quotations again.
Mhm.
I was a huge Dan Marino fan, so I had Dolphins gear. I had.
Dan Marino's a great guy.
Oh my god!
I was a fan. I didn't like football.
Right?
I like
So I had-
seeing him on TV.
I had all the Dolphins gear. I had everything. And when I was in the Army, I was never in the Army. I went to a Falcons game at the Georgia Dome. I watched the Falcons play the Buccaneers.
Mhm.
Back when they were in that god-awful road cone creamsicle outfit that they used to wear. If you ever...
That was them?
Yes! So every time when I'm playing Xbox, by the way, when I play the Buccaneers, I put them in the creamsicle outfits. And
I remember those. I didn't realize it was the
know.
Falcons.
No, it was the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers had the creamsicle
I thought you
outfits.
were saying the Falcons
No,
did.
this is back when the Buccaneers had the creamsicle outfits.
Okay.
And I watched that game, and I've said it year after year after year. When any two NFC South teams, back then they were the NFC whatever. I think they were the Falcons were in the West, and it was really bad. Falcons were in the same division as the 49ers back then, which shows you how fucked up the management was. They don't know how to fucking read a map because the earth is round, bitches. And I know. Go to Target, you'll get a pamphlet. Go to Target, get a pamphlet. When they restructured everything, it became the NFC South, and you got New Orleans, Atlanta, Carolina, who was a brand new team, and the Buccaneers was like, okay, now we got business. But this was before that. But the Bucs were always a thorn on our side, and the Saints for years. This is 1991 now. I watched that game. They beat the shit out of each other. Final score was Falcons 37, Buccaneers 31. And I leaned over to my buddy. We just went because it was professional football. We were in Georgia. We wanted to see a game. He was a Saints fan, so where do you go? You see the two teams closest to you. And I leaned to him. I said, I think I found my team. He goes, they're going to finish 4-12. Don't care. I think the Falcons are going to be my team. They have heart.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, that's what I want. Yankees, same thing. Bruins, same thing. Ohio State, same thing. It's not a front runner position. I don't front run anything. Obviously, if you've seen me wear Falcons gear, I don't front run a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy for somebody to say you're a Yankee fan because you're a front runner. I've suffered more than I've cheered.
See, that's kind of always been my argument. So I started liking the Patriots when they were not front runners.
Exactly.
1986.
How about our partner who liked the Vikings when they couldn't sniff the playoffs?
And used to like the Giants, I think, at one
Yes.
point, long time ago.
And they were champs and contenders when he switched.
Mm-hmm.
When he switched.
Because you want to be a part. Honestly, you want to be a part of a team that starts somewhere and moves up.
I always said that if you're not, I put up the Falcon thing early in the season. We lost 4 straight. And it was a little Falcon logo. I made the meme. If you're not with us when we're down, don't join us when we're up.
Perfect example: the UConn women's basketball team, when they went
perennial
undefeated.
front runners for the last 22 years.
But I saw
They weren't always
they
awesome.
weren't always there, but when they went that undefeated year and it's been an upward momentum since then, people
They've had 3 of those.
yeah. So that's a perfect example. Like people who were UConn women's basketball fans then still are today. It will stay that way.
Yes.
Because they were there at the beginning. They want to die as UConn women's basketball.
You know who's got the
fans.
most loyal fan base of anyone? I'll say it here.
Ron Jeremy?
Second, Cleveland Browns.
Why?
Cleveland left and went to Baltimore, and 2 years later won a Super Bowl, which means they could have won a Super Bowl in Cleveland had they stayed. But they didn't. They moved to Baltimore, whatever. Cleveland's still filling stadiums at the time. They're still filling stadiums to this day, and they've sucked for years. Just a year ago, they went 0-16. This year, they won 4 games and tied 1. So already, it's a 400% improvement.
Side note, I think we blew our predictions completely out.
We'll talk about that next week.
I think so far I'm the only one I'm the only one in the playoffs.
You're the only one who still has. I had Pittsburgh and Atlanta. No, I had Pittsburgh and Minnesota in the Super Bowl. They're both out of the playoffs. He had Minnesota and somebody else.
I think I had Minnesota and
New England.
So
they're up there somewhere. If it were up to me, I'd burn them before Loki
Here's the
got
thing,
here.
though. Even if New England wins, if they go to the Super Bowl and wins, it's not going to feel the same because everyone wanted to see, the 6 in a row. And
I wanted to see my team play on their home field in the Super Bowl, which Mike wanted to see last year. Almost had the chance. The Eagles.
I really wanted to see Vikings Patriots. It was so close.
I know.
And
last year,
because
well, it was close when Minnesota pulled off the miracle, and then the Eagles ate their lunch the next week.
Because, dude, I totally left your dick in the dirt, and I wanted to leave his dick in the dirt. I'm sorry. Anyway, I didn't mean to say that loud. But great football.
The Loki and Jabroni Show would like to advertise for a new producer. Send your resume to cburns19@gmail.com. Now, please. That was good. You deserve a little props for that.
Yeah, but I wanted to see the Vikings in the Super Bowl. After they played that season, I was like, they deserve to be there. And fuck the Eagles, cheating motherfuckers.
Anyway, going back to the original point, which we seem to do a lot here, we veer from it. Root for your team. Rarely, and I say this with a certain amount of humility, rarely will you see me put something up unless it's the Cowboys saying fuck your team. Unless we're playing each other.
America's team?
They're not even Texas's
New
team.
England.
Don't get me started. New England is America's team right now.
Original colonies.
Exactly. If your team is not playing Atlanta, don't shit on Atlanta. If your team is not playing the Patriots, don't shit on the Patriots. If your team is not playing Dallas, I encourage you to shit on Dallas as much as you can, because I'll talk about their fan base in about 30 seconds.
Well, it drives me nuts. So if Atlanta wins the 5 games but loses the 6, don't talk about your team like you won 5 games and then 6.
Have you seen Saint Fan out there? Have you seen Saint Fan out there?
No.
Yeah, you have, because you commented on some of the stuff that means Saint Fan was going through.
Oh.
And I'm not gonna
No, don't
entertain it.
Just don't.
Where they're like, show me where I said this. How about go through your fucking timeline on your fucking book of face and find where you did this and then apologize.
People, just fucking stop. Just
grow up.
Stop. You did not carry that ball any yardage. I don't want to fucking hear it.
If the Yankees lose, I still have my family. I still have my job. I still have my friends. I still have my podcast. I still have my life.
Trust me. You're not a Red Sox fan unless you're used to the Yankees winning. So,
which is different now because
now the game has changed.
Since 2004, they have 4 championships to our 1. And I say our because I'm speaking for Yankee Universe.
I can sum this up perfectly. Mm-hmm. Sportsmanship on the field, sportsmanship in the stands.
Amen.
And,
and that's what we do here. Except for when, you know what? I am going to say this because at that time, when this asshole and the other asshole, Brian, are at Tokyo Sushi, like you mentioned, and they play Sweet Caroline, and they're like, Yankees suck. I've been to concerts with a New York band called Anthrax is on the stage, and before they come out, the Sullys in Boston You're at a concert. Yankees suck. Yankees suck. I went to
So-
a Patriots game years ago against the Cleveland Browns. What are they chanting before the game starts? Yankees suck. Get over yourselves.
Okay, to be fair, you don't think any Yankees fans in New York do something similar?
Oh, I know they do. I just distance myself from it.
I'm just saying. Here's the thing. That my only argument to that is when you have your own karaoke night, you can do your Red Sox.
I'm going to share with you.
You'll get kicked out of the bar. But...
I'm going to share with you a chant that back then it was Section 39. Now it's Section 203. The Bleacher Creatures, led by Vinny Milano. Great guy. There was actually a book written about the Bleacher Creatures called Bleeding Pinstripes. Go find it. Philip Bondi wrote it. Where just before the seventh inning stretch, the grounds crew comes out, and then Yankee Stadium plays YMCA. And if you've ever watched this, you can find it on YouTube. The grounds crew will, they're doing the grounds thing, and they're bebopping to the music. And when it comes to YMCA, they drop the chains of the ground rake. They do YMCA. They do their little dance, and they go about it's a fun little thing.
Yeah.
You know what the Bleacher Creatures do?
What?
They change the lyrics. So they find the one fan of the opposing team in the bleachers. They surround him. And they'll sing, "Why are you gay? You sucka, big D-I-C-K. We have every size for your mouth to enjoy." But at the end of it, the Bleacher Creatures, and I give the Creatures a lot of credit, some of the most objective fans in history. They're loud, they're obnoxious, they're rude, but at the end of it, they shook that guy's hand. They're like, "Dude, enjoy the game." Now, you go further on. They open the game. Oh, no, let's go back. They open the game. Here comes your opposing right fielder, right where the Bleacher Creatures sit. When I went and sat in the bleachers, it was then the California Angels, now the Anaheim Angels. It was Tim Salmon. And they do this chant. I'm paraphrasing here. I'm trying to remember it. New York baseball Mets suck. Red Sox suck. Salmon sucks. Box seats suck. Everybody sucks. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just listen to? But they're having fun. There was one guy being overly obnoxious at one of these games where I was in the bleachers, and he took his hat. They lit it on fire.
Well, that's wrong.
Wait for it. Now, these same Bleacher Creatures, at the end, passed the hat donation, gave him the donations, and said, "After the game, meet us across the street at Stan's. We're going to buy you a beer. And this is for you to get a new hat."
But here's the thing. What if that was a hat that, like, his father had given him or something like that? What if there was sentimental value for that?
Maybe, okay, that I get, but...
What if, and it'd be stupid to wear this, what if it was autographed?
Yeah, I wouldn't wear that shit to a fucking ball game.
But some moron might.
Upstairs, I have a Kevin Harvick autographed hat I won't wear in public.
I'm just saying, what if you did for the sake of
I get it.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm going to give Vinny and the Creatures a lot of credit. They embraced this guy, said, "Hey, sorry for fucking with you. Here's a bunch of money to buy a new hat, and come to Stan's across the street before you drive off or get on the train. We're going to buy you a beer." Now, I've been to Fenway Park where I've met...
This kind of beer?
Fuck that beer.
I can't believe you gave it to me.
I was collecting my beer a week ago from Mark's house, and I accidentally grabbed that thinking it was mine, and it wasn't. So it sat in the gimmick chamber. I'm glad somebody drank it, because I sure as hell wasn't. Because Ian's not coming back anytime soon. I want Ian to come back. That's Big Ian C's beer of choice.
His phone just died.
Did it really?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
Poor bastard.
He said miraculously it's not because he broke it. It's the first one that died of natural causes.
Oh, wow. First one. I was going to say, he's broken 3 phones since we've had him on the show.
Thrown it. And
right?
Yeah.
But going back to your
point, he's an Irish ginger always getting in a fight. So
I've been to Fenway Park where I've had the best time, and people embrace the fact that it's not the laundry I wear, it's the man underneath.
It's baseball.
And I've been to Fenway Park where they've basically said things about my mother that my father would be very interested in, and thrown things at me and gotten me thrown out of Fenway Park because of it, because I fought back, because I'm not some, willowing wallflower. You fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, every team has asshole fans. It seems that certain teams have more asshole fans. I find, and I'll give New England a lot of credit, it's 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You look at the Cowboys, it's 99-1. You look at the Saints, it's creeping up. The Saints ain't been shit since 2009 when they won the Super Bowl. Now they have a really good season, and they want to shit on everybody. Fuck that. You seem to forget. You ain't been shit since. Prove it. Don't polish the trophy.
My response to that is, you're doing good.
Exactly.
Bring home the ring.
Exactly.
And we'll talk.
And that's what I said in my live feed. I think you joined it. Don't polish the trophy until it's actually yours. And that's all I got to say.
Bring
about
home
that.
the ring. This show will say it is your year.
Amen.
You are the champ until Tom takes it from
Oh,
you.
for the love of fuck. We're going to go to Tom Brady right now. Funny, I was just watching Ted 2 earlier where they go and try to jack him off. And
I haven't seen that yet. They tried.
have you not seen how
No.
it's a fucking 5-year-old movie.
Ted 2 is only a few years old, but I still haven't watched it.
Look, one of our first episodes where you said we should introduce a segment called You Know What's Fucked Up, and I lost my shit because 6 months earlier I saw Ted 2, and part of the beginning of the film is Ted's bachelor party where somebody says, "You know what's fucked up?" as they're watching two bears fucking. That's somebody's daughter. I'm like, Ed just dropped that on my lap 3 days ago.
Well,
I'm in a theater in Providence watching this fucking movie.
Full disclosure, you folks that are listening, you're about to get a big secret.
Oh, behind the scenes shit.
Yeah, no, this is a big secret. Which I don't know if I want to tell you if I want to put it on Patreon.
You know what? Tell the people. This is year in review gimmick. Let's just
fuck it.
yeah.
So I actually got the idea. Do you know what's fucked up from a guy I used to work with at the grocery store when I was a teenager, named Dennis. And
Was he retarded?
No.
Not that I can say that out loud. Can I?
Yes, but no.
I knew a dentist that was retarded, and you know what? He went on to great things. I'm just saying that now.
The redhead kid.
You know him.
I know Dennis
From
in the
Norwich.
projects.
Yes.
I knew Dennis.
He went on to do some good things.
I'll say it. He used to be a prick, though.
He was a prick.
I don't know what he's doing now. Is he doing good?
Last I heard, he was working for the City of New London, doing like I don't know what you call it. I don't want to say records management, but he really did good.
Good for him. Good for him.
I can't believe you know Dennis.
Yeah, he used to walk around. What was his nickname? Sniffy.
I don't know. We had a different nickname for him. I can't say it out loud.
Yeah,
Heaven forbid I trigger someone.
but no, he had times where he was not very nice.
He was
But,
a bit of a prick.
But it had a lot to do with the people he hung out with, though.
Right.
I'm sure of it now. Now that I'm mature.
Dennis.
But
Dennis.
anyway, I worked with this guy named Dennis. I won't say his last name for reasons of anonymity.
Hamlin. Oh, that's the race car
But-
driver.
He used to tell these stories, and he used to open up every story with, "Do you know it's fucked up?"
Really?
Like, and he would finish it with the phrase, "That's fucked up."
Wow.
So I kind of got the idea from what he used to say, and he would tell this crazy stuff, and he would go long drawn out, and then he'd bring it up, and then he'd end it with, "That's fucked up," and I'm like, popped in my head,
And there was born
and they're
one of our more popular segments.
successfully stolen
Wow.
from Dennis.
I was not.
I think to his credit, I still think he's a meat cutter at that store. Like he's probably making good money doing it too.
Full disclosure, going back, I didn't think the segment had held water until about the third time we did it.
What, you know why? Until you actually dug in and saw and looked for fucked up shit, you didn't realize
You don't know me well enough.
So-
Then I was always looking for fucked up shit, but it was the more crazy it got. I was like, about the third or fourth time, I'm like, this has legs. This is gonna go somewhere, and this
it
is
was
gonna be
funny. It was
fun.
fun, and
It became easily one of my favorite segments that we've ever done in almost 4 years that we've been doing this.
yeah, and well, I'm hoping I want to elevate it a little bit, maybe do some changes. I want to revamp a lot of things.
The only thing we cannot change, because we haven't had one in about 7 months, is the Ted Nugent Award given to the person.
No, I have a nominee.
Can
I
you?
sent it
What
to
is the exact title? Comes from Eddie. I can't do it justice.
All right, so going back a few years, where Ted Nugent,
A few years.
Ted Nugent
Going back ever.
well, Ted Nugent had posted a meme. I can't remember the specifics of it, but he tagged a bunch of people in it, and it was like they all say this, and what do they have in common? And the thing they had in common was they were all Jewish,
Oh,
if you recall. And I brought that up, and I said, "Dude, we should do an award."
I do remember that
He was
now.
the first one that got it. I'm like, we should give
Of
an
course.
award. We should give an award to a celebrity that says fucked up shit.
Mhm.
You know, and give it during Do You Know What's Fucked Up? And Ted Nugent had put that, and it was totally it was right up there with him saying all Native Americans should go back to their home country. And
Which is here.
yeah, and I was like,
And we had the music, the Great White Buffalo, and everything
yeah,
was
we never got whacked for that.
never, which is strange
Yeah.
because you'd think.
We get whacked for we got whacked for the Deo by like Freddie Mercury.
Here's the
but-
deal: for 160 plus episodes, we played Europe: The Final Countdown to introduce what we did then. It's now been phased out because there's only so many places you can go and then run out of material. We did a top 10 list every week. Played Europe: The Final Countdown. Finally, after 160 plus episodes, we got gigged.
You know,
We-
all the back episodes that are on YouTube have not gotten.
No shit.
It was just the most recent ones.
Well, that's why we did away with it. Fuck that. We'd
Whatever.
rather do.
We need new stuff anyway.
ACDC's not gigging us for buy and sell, and
But what? God, what we gave awards. What did we give awards to? We gave awards to Alex Jones.
Alex Jones was my favorite.
We gave award to Joe Manchin
Yep.
for saying get rid of due process. We gave awards to. Oh my God, we should really have written these down because we should have like a WWE.
Like a Hall of
style
Fame.
Hall of Fame. Ted Nugent Hall of Fame.
Don't get me started on the WWE Hall of Fame.
I know. I mean,
That's coming up. We're gonna have to do an episode on WWE Hall of Fame soon.
Hillbilly Jim's in it, so everything's good.
Fuck, dude, are you serious? Owen Hart's not in the Hall of Fame, but Hillbilly Jim is, and you're okay with that?
Well, dude, you know they killed him. I mean, they're not gonna put him in the Hall of Fame.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, here's the thing: Devil's Advocate.
Oh shit.
We haven't had one all day.
I know.
Devil's Advocate. They probably can put him in the Hall of Fame. The family probably will sue them.
Mark Henry. Did Mark Henry go in last year? I want to say yes. You can get the WWE Network right now at www.lokijabroni.com.
Is Hitman in the Hall of Fame?
Yes, Brett's in the Hall of Fame.
Because here's the thing: for all we know, Owen Hart was married at the time, wasn't he?
Yes.
So his wife probably doesn't want his name associated with WWE
Blocking
anymore.
the shit out of it.
So
Mark Henry, I think, went in last year or the year before. You listeners can help me with this and send your hate tweets to cburns19 at Twitter or to my email, cburns19@gmail.com. Mark Henry went in the Hall of Fame last year, year before, same year as Jeff Jarrett. Can't remember. And Mark Henry gave such an impassioned speech, and at the end of it, because he was very good friends with Owen Hart, said, you know, and he said her name out loud, Martha. You need to let this go. Owen needs to be in the Hall of Fame. His kids deserve to see it. His fans deserve to see it. He needs his rightful place in the history of this business. Let it go. Just let it go. And I remember watching that speech, and not there were tears in my eyes, but you have that lump in your throat. You're like, holy shit, there's Mark Henry just spitting some truth.
Mhm.
You know, I look at WWE Hall of Fame. I understand Hillbilly Jim. I understand the Bushwhackers. I understand Coco Beware.
dude,
But
so,
motherfucker,
you know what?
there's a lot of guys that should have went in before them that didn't. Why did it take Macho Man Savage longer than Coco Beware?
Scandal.
Alleged scandal.
It's still scandal though.
Alleged scandal.
Yeah, but
There's only one person that can
It's
prove that
corporate.
scandal wrong, and it's Stephanie McMahon.
it's corporate.
Did Macho Man get up in your drawers? No. Put him in the Hall of Fame. But they waited, and when he passed, a year later, Lanny Poffo, his brother, if you didn't know, inducted him into the Hall of Fame. And what a fantastic speech Lanny did.
The genius.
Yes. Fuck. Those were the
Previous-
days.
Previously leaping Lenny.
Leaping
Poffo,
Lenny Poffo with his
who never could quite,
poetry.
for whatever reason, obviously not the brother that took steroids because he never could quite get the physique.
You know, Randy didn't. I don't think Randy took steroids until he got into WCW. Because if you watch some of the late WCW stuff,
No,
he
I-
looked like he swallowed a fucking Volkswagen.
I can prove he took them prior.
I believe it.
He was on the Arsenio Hall show, and Arsenio asked him point blank.
Okay, fair.
And he said yes. I don't know. Obviously, he might have been exaggerating. They all do, but he said yes when it was legal.
Okay, fair.
So,
But look at his physique. Even through the, I was live at not only Survivor Series '93, but WrestleMania 10 and '94. Some of his last matches in the WWF, now WWE, and he was still built the same. But then fast forward to say 98, 99, go find it on the WWE Network where he just looks like somebody took an air pump and just jacked the shit out of
dude,
him.
What, he was in Spider-Man?
Bonesaw McGraw. How huge did he look?
He was unrecognizable.
Exactly.
I didn't recognize him until he got on the microphone.
Until he said, Bonesaw's
I'm
ready.
like, holy shit, he was a vein with a head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, holy crap. But
Looked like a house with arms.
like, if you folks haven't watched it, watch The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Great
Oh my
movie.
God, great fucking
Great
film.
movie. Sad movie, great movie.
You know, one of the guys in that.
Based on Hulk Hogan. Basically, a lot of it's taken from Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage's careers. They
Yes.
kind of took elements of both and put it into one character.
If you watch the beginning of that, you know, when they showed the magazines,
Mhm.
they put Mickey Rourke's
Yeah.
head on Lex Luger's body.
I had some of those issues.
Remember
'Cause
that
I
with the
re-
Lex Luger and
I recognized some of the photos because what was it? Pro Wrestling Magazine.
Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
There was another one. There was one magazine that didn't give a shit and showed you all the bloody pictures.
Yes.
and shit.
Wrestling Main Event.
Yeah,
I love that
oh
magazine.
My God.
But they just basically put Mickey Rourke's head on Lex Luger.
Yeah.
All those magazines.
And
One of the-
when Mickey Rourke gets on the top ropes, he kind of does the
Yep.
Macho Man thing. It's like
There's a guy in that movie named Paul E. Normus.
Mhm.
I don't know what his real last name is, and I don't care. He was a very nice guy. I interviewed him in 2004 for WrestlingOnline.com, and it turns out a couple years later he passed away.
Mhm.
Enlarged heart, steroid use, whatever. But what a genuine nice guy. And I didn't know. I saw him in the movie when I first watched it back in 2008, 2009.
Mhm.
Like, look, it's Paul. Holy shit. I wonder what Paul's up to. Get on your Google machine. Back then on your computer. You couldn't do it on your smartphone. And it was like, yeah, Paul Enormous passed away however many months ago. Enlarged heart, steroid use, etc. I was like, oh, fuck. He was just a really good, genuine, nice guy.
well, look at some of the older wrestlers that their muscle structure's all fucked up from like all the shit they used to do.
Dynamite Kid, perfect
Oh,
example.
Rest in peace.
I know,
My-
your favorite.
My favorite wrestler and my favorite tag team.
There was a guy that
oh.
went and he pushed himself, and I don't want to say this to be rude. I want to say this to be completely 1000% honest. He pushed himself because he knew he had the goods, but he's in a big man's business at the time.
Mhm.
The mid to late 80s was a big man's business if you're a wrestler or a wrestling fan. Yes, the needle didn't help. Yes, pulling a gun on his wife and kids didn't help. Yes, destroying his body, whether with steroids or with the crazy kamikaze shit he didn't help. And who was his biggest fan? I can't say his name. Crispin Wah. Similar endings.
You're fired.
However, Dynamite did it for the love of the business. And to watch what he became, and I read his book. His book came out in 2003, 2004. It's called Pure Dynamite. Eddie, you should check this out.
Mhm.
If you've never read it, read it. He goes into sick detail about the things he did and why he did it and the what for. There's just so much meat on the bone that people don't know, that which is why I really despise, as much as I dislike football fan, I dislike wrestling fan that much more, because they just buy into whatever's on the internet. You don't dig deep enough.
Let me cut you off real quick. There is no fucking reason for people to get emotional about professional wrestling.
None.
None.
Unless somebody says Shawn Michaels sucks, then I'll kick you in the dick.
Well, you know what? I say this, and I've said it before on the show. No Dynamite Kid, there's no Shawn Michaels. He kind of paved the way for that athletic, stylized wrestler.
I'll blend it.
You know?
If there's no Dynamite Kid and there's no Ric Flair, there's no Shawn Michaels. Those two together.
Oh yeah.
If there's no
Obviously.
Dynamite Kid, and I'm gonna say his name in a reverent manner, if there's no Dynamite Kid, you don't enjoy 20 years of Chris Benoit. If there's no Dynamite Kid, you don't enjoy the work of Eddie Guerrero. There's so many guys that Dynamite influenced in his career that are still going today. Unfortunately, we've lost some of them, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. But again, personal choices.
Yeah.
That's the only time I can say it when I'm saying nice things.
Wrestler like Dynamite Kid, even though he's pretty impressive physique wise.
He was for a smaller guy. He was
like
jacked.
Dynamite Kid was just like, there's a way. Like, if you're not the Andre the Giant type, if you're not the Hulk Hogan type, there's a way for you to make an impact in this business. You just need to do it better.
You know what the funny thing?
You need to do it better.
Funny thing is, I always said this to my friends. I was ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
Because while everybody's cheering for Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan and some of the bigger guys, I was cheering for Ric Flair, the Midnight Express, as the years went on.
Well, they were different.
Shawn Michaels.
Different organizations.
Yes,
for a while,
but I wasn't.
Ric Flair was their Hulk Hogan, if you really think about it.
On either side, yes.
You know?
But But then again, the NWA, further WCW, had Lex Luger. They had Barry Windham. They had the bigger guys. I love Barry Windham, by the way, but love to get him on the show.
U.S. Express.
Yeah, buddy. See, he's in tune right here. Producer Ready Focus. I like the guys that could give me a show and make it believable, rather than punch, big boot, leg drop, done. You know, Andre the Giant was an attraction. It was always fun to see, but what comes after that? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you, if he ever legitimately, like I say legitimately, but if they ever put the championship on Andre, who's going to beat him? You'd have to find someone bigger, better, stronger, faster. You can't. So Andre was always an attraction. But you put the belt on Ric Flair, everybody's a threat.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's Lex Luger, Sting, Magnum TA, Ronnie Garvin, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, some of the best matches. Go to LokiandJabroni.com/wrestling. Get the WWE Network, $9.99 a month. I've overdosed on the network since I picked it up through our website. I watched some of those classic matches.
Oh, I'd love to pick up some classic primetime wrestling. I used to love that.
It's
show.
on there.
I know. I used to love
it's
that
on
show.
there. And by the way, cheap plug, because I'm trying to get this guy to come on the show. A great podcast you should listen to is Prime Time with Sean Mooney. You remember the old guy from the event center? And Bobby Heenan would go, they'd be like, all right, let's kick it to Sean Mooney. Who? That's who. Sean Mooney. Great podcast. Love him. I've been in contact with him. He's another guy. Catch me in January. Love to have Sean Mooney. I want to see the behind-the-scenes 80s shit that he saw. But, man.
I wonder if he's got a lifetime supply of fruit stripe gum.
Oh, he talked, you know what, on his podcast, he talks so much about Lord Alfred Hayes in such reverence. He thinks the world of Lord Alfred Hayes, as we all should.
He was the voice of WWF for so long.
Oh, look at you going with the gimmick.
Yeah, even though I hate it when you guys do that. But
you're listening to MRN, the voice of NASCAR.
But Lord Alfred Hayes was the if you think about it, the voice of WWF for the longest time. He's on all the promos, all the commercials.
He was always an interviewer guy. When you got to the end of the show before the main event, promotional consideration paid for by the following. He was the guy you heard, and it meant something.
And then there was Mean Gene, and then
man,
Mean Gene.
Oh, the different ways we go. Let's close this out. Let's
yeah, we're running along here, but
biggest memory, Loki and Jabroni memory of 2018. Go.
Ooh, god damn. Well, honestly,
you got to bring God into this.
You usually do.
Sometimes.
I actually, I gotta say, I think this was what I said last year too, but it's just so much fun. The Constitution State Wrestling. It's just a lot of fun when we do those events. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the last one.
Yes.
But we did do one earlier in the year,
Yeah, we did.
and
We did the winter show. We couldn't do the summer show.
and the wrestling was kicked up a notch. It was fantastic.
Mhm.
Everyone had a great time.
Matt Cross was
Oh,
fantastic.
That was the best match. It
That was
really
Steamboat Savage.
And who are the kids that came in that did it? That group there.
You're killing me right now.
You know what I'm talking about, though. There was the younger wrestlers. that
Yeah.
jumped in.
Oh,
I
this the
can't-
school guys. There was Newport guy
Yeah.
and Joe Bullitt.
Yeah,
The
and-
short guy that I remember, and he won the
oh my God,
match.
Yes,
Yes.
that was great. The women's wrestling was fantastic. What else was a lot of fun? The women's SummerSlam was last year, right?
Oh, the women's pay per view.
Yeah.
We didn't do that live, but we covered it. The women's Royal Rumble we covered. We watched it.
Yeah.
We did a lot of things with the women's wrestling. Yes.
So, I mean, that's a highlight for me. Like, I love the live events. The show at the deck was really good. People had a lot of fun.
Hoping to do another one soon.
Yeah. So I mean, hopefully not get whacked by WWE again, even though we're pushing your fucking product.
Right? You're an
Yeah.
affiliate, for fuck's sake.
I know. It's like we're literally pushing their product. That's what I said to him in the emails. Dude, I'm literally selling your product.
But we got cleared.
We did.
All right. See?
But still.
Eventually.
Still, though, we lost our live streaming rights when that happened.
We'll get over it.
So-
We got to find a way. I don't know how, but people want to hear the commentary. People, when we're at a live event, maybe we go to a different location.
Well, so I think I know what we need to do, but
Okay.
those are the highlights for me. I mean, obviously Mandy Malone, fantastic
Oh.
interview. Those are highlights for me. The wrestling, Mandy Malone.
I point to Mandy Malone and I point to Jimmy Wisman as highlights. Mandy Malone, just because of the struggle she went through, the hell she went through, and the fact that I always say we're the little engine that could. We're people that shouldn't have Lizzie Borden, which was another highlight. We're people that
That was a
shouldn't have
great one,
Charlie
yeah.
Benante. Lizzie Borden was fantastic. That was 15-year-old Chris having just a day.
Yeah,
And it was unfortunate. It was another day that Loki couldn't be
Yeah.
here. I think he was at the Red Sox game that
he was.
day.
He called
So,
in.
yeah. So to have me